quick look at Caulfield. It's Oval Office, Northerly, Shore Blue, Shining Path, 2136 ratings. They're just about set at Randwick. Quick peep at the market, 640 Northerly, Oval Office 630, Shore Blue 610, down to PlayStation 270. Tiger's Eye is now Marie Payne, please note 850, big odds. The others as we take you to Terry Bailey.
Hasn't lost anything from winning the other day, the Manifold. So we'll stick with 2, 1, 5 and 3.
Good race though. A big question mark where the speed's going to come from.
That is the key to the race, Andrew.
All right, at the moment we've got Northerly tightening up on the tote now, $5, $5.20 Oval Office, $3.10 PlayStation, but been a drifter on track. Then PlayStation, but been a drifter on track. They move in for the Group 2 Carlyon Cup. Right, Andrew.
Shining Path coming up now, and Shore Blue will be the last to move in, and we'll have them right to run. Okay, and attendant with PlayStation, they're off. Iron Horse out okay. Over on the outside, Shore Blue is a little bit slow to move. Shining Path and Knockrow both away fast. PlayStation's up there too with Tiger's Eye. Kenzine is going forward over on the outside. Northerly settles with 3 behind him in a fairly bunched field, including Oval Office back there with Shore Blue. And as they went by the 1,000 metres and making play Knockrow, and he sped away. He's gone out by 4 lengths to Kenzine. Tiger's Eye a half length away the inside, a length and a half to Shining Path. Northerly next over on the outside of Iron Horse, and they're followed by PlayStation, who's come away from the rails. 1 to Shore Blue, and then came Furnish, and 2 to Oval Office. Knockrow back the tempo off coming down the side. Kenzine rushed up to him. Shining Path whipped around the outside too, and Northerly's off and running as well. He's got up to 4th from Tiger's Eye. Iron Horse length to PlayStation, and they're followed then by Shore Blue, taken to the outside, running on from Furnish, and Oval Office last as they've bunched. It's Knockrow, Kenzine, Shining Path. Northerly is 4 wide as they enter the straight. Just behind them, Tiger's Eye looking for a run on the inside. Not a lot of room there. Furnish is coming with a run, but Northerly has spread it away from them. At the 200, and the West Australians raced away now. Coming home well as Oval Office on the outside with Furnish, but Northerly with 58 has bolted in. Northerly easily by 4. Oval Office second, Knockrow third. Furnish 4th, and they're followed by Tiger's Eye, Shore Blue, PlayStation, and back behind them were Iron Horse. To the tail was Shining Path, and Kenzine last of all. That is a good old-fashioned shellacking. Number 1, Northerly, has absolutely bolted in. To run some time here. In fact, he's broken the record, 135.1. We all went into it thinking there'd be no pace, and it's a course record performance under 58 kilos, returned by Northerly. Second to Oval, Greg Childs, and Andrew Bensley is downstairs.
And Greg, we've got Fred Kersley, the winning trainer. Well,
listen to the experts, and they don't rate the West Australian form at all. But geez, I hope the handicapper wasn't looking.
It was good, wasn't it? I mean, he just exploded 200 from home. Could you sense it going into the race that he'd do something like this?
He's been able to do it in Perth. I had doubts about him doing it here because it's hard to line up the company, and today was United Nations, wasn't it? I mean, they came from everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, you've got the Australian Cup in mind, but the horse has only had, what, 8 starts now for 5 wins?
That's his 8th start in a race, yes. And the Australian Cup would be lovely if we can hold him up till then.
Yeah.
But I was
a bit unsure about today, but he settled beautifully in the race and just was too strong. So the longer the journey, the better.
You know, we tread a very vulnerable path with racehorses, but if the wheels don't fall off, he could go a long way.
Yeah, so what do you think about that, Rich?
There's no doubt about his ability. Any horse that can win by that margin and break the course record. The last horse I saw win that race by that margin and break the course record was Superimposed. And he went on to bigger and better things. And I think this horse is a very, very talented horse. And Fred Kersley, who has been a champion harness racing trainer in Western Australia, paid $9,000 for a half share in this horse before the horse had raced, and described his effort in picking this horse as more us than class. So,
well, yesterday's purse was $200,000. Greg Childs gave himself low marks for his ride. He was 3 wide most of the way. So with Northerly lumping the 58 kilos, having only his 8th start, he was eased down to run a track record. He is definitely going to be a start of the future, and it was a very sensible question from Andrew Bensley post-race. Is he going to be one of our stars? Because I think that he is too.
Yeah, I think...
Just one. Thanks, Andrew. Brian Mayfield-Smith there joining us, the trainer of Typhoon Billy, as Mark joins us. I tell you, they've come for one here at odds. Dan O'Sullivan's horse, Ticket to Rome, coming out of the Swettenham Sud Stakes. It has had good support, $12.30.
Number 1, Assertive Lad. He's done a lot of work. He's at Randwick at the barrier stalls. Assertive Lad, 440. A lot of interest in this race. It's resuming, as is Continuum at big odds. Century Kid, the same, 940. Glen Rowan, $11 in fractionally. Hayden is racing well, 23. Sporting Scribe, 33. Sorted Out, 23. Pastime, $2.70. And then we've got Fuadi at 47. Crop, $5. Trencher.
Packet on Pastime has been backed off the map. The only horse back to beat him is Assertive Lad. Assertive Lad has a big tote following, 450, very short the tote, but he's been a good tip. Ready for the Royal Sovereign. Set to jump. Racing, Pastime rocketed out of the gate wide out. He went straight to the front from Century Kid, and they were burning early. Continuum, Crop away well, not far away. Glen Rowan, Scribe the last one. Pastime on the fence, lead Century Kid, and they're running along at the 800. The margin over Assertive Lad, who's third, is about 2 lengths. Crop moves around Continuum. Fuadi off the track. Glen Rowan, Red Cap in the centre. Trencher on the fence. 3/4 sorted out. 2 lengths away to Hayden and Sporting Scribe, the last one. Pastime is roaring along in front, coming to the bend. 500 metres to go by. 3/4 on Century Kid. Assertive Lad came out 3 wide. 2 lengths Continuum. Crop in the orange jacket from Glen Rowan. Trencher on the fence. Sporting Scribe and sorted out heads the others. Pastime in front. Century Kid loomed up to him, and Assertive Lad, the champion 2-year-old of last season, grabbed the lot of them. Continuum's getting a run on the fence. Assertive Lad and Muntz in front. Continuum drove up on the fence, but Assertive Lad's giving plenty. Continuum's coming at him now, but Assertive Lad's hanging on. He's going to cling on and win it. A great win. Great return by Assertive Lad. 3/4 of a length nearly on the line to Continuum. Pastime was third, I think, in front of Century Kid, but there's only a lip in that. Behind those, Fuadi, Sporting Scribe, Glen Rowan, Trencher, Crop. They were followed by Hayden, and last in Sorted Out. What a great return and what a great training effort. And this splendid little racehorse, 9 starts, 6 wins, overcoming the injury problem that he had back in August when he only had the 1 run behind Zariz and finished stone motherless last, the worst run of his career. Gay turned him out immediately, so they're only a second outside of that. Out in 34.65, speed was right on. They had their foot on the pedal from the word go. Home 35.26. He's won by a half length.
Won the race with... He was. I was a little bit disappointed with Pastime. I think there's probably more races in store for Pastime, but back on Assertive Lad, that's exactly what he did. He asserted his authority, and he won the race with virtual ease. Continuum's run was good. It still had me mystified that people were talking about the fence not being any good.
Because he came right up in the end.
Object of all.
Did they overread it? The jockeys sometimes overread it.
I don't know about jockeys. I think sometimes we as punters and commentators tend to overread it sometimes. I thought it was all right yesterday.
Well, it proved to be that way, particularly later in the day, didn't it? Okay,
so
planning.
It would be basically a traditional 3-year-old campaign. You go to the Hobart Hill, and then I've got to suppose on the third run, I've got to make up my mind if we go Doncaster, which is probably the obvious, or if we go to the Derby.
You'd like to try him over a bit further, I can tell.
Well, I'd like to win the Derby, and
Good colt. There's no doubt he's proved that with his consistency, only for the 1 bad run when he was obviously injured and they spelled him after it, he's been a great colt. I'm not convinced about the ones that finish behind him, though. I think that all that form comes through last season's 2-year-old form, Crown Glory, Belle de Jour. I don't think it's really measured up. He's measured up because he's good. Belle de Jour's classy without being a superstar, but just not sure about the rest of them.
Yeah, we were watching there the win of last year's top 2-year-old. He went around yesterday at 8-1. A very generous price for a well-performed, well, the best of our 2-year-olds of last season. Easter Saturday.
You're just looking at him from my view of him, and I only view him from television like everyone else does. Looks better suited at the mile than he does at the 1.5 miles to me, but, you know, Gail will make that decision. She knows him better than anyone.
You notice, yes?
Holy Honey. 1 on top from 3, 5 and 6. This is the Light Fingers. It's Belle de Jour, 730.42. Lovelorn, $3.88. Harpy, 15. Lady Milan, 9.21. Holy Honey. Mini Me, 22.34 for Shanksy, number 8. Cutting, 19.21. Symbol. Maitland Gold, $3.90. And Marlena, $26.
She had a break and came back and won first.
Belle de Jour, of course, with that remarkable Golden Slipper win, has taken her right to the top of the ladder as the 3-year-old fillies. Stands up well. Lady Mulan's had support. They're set and they're racing. 8/8 away quickly. Maitland Gull began well, showing a lot of speed. Moonee, she's going to lead the grey. Rushing up to be second, 8/8, cutting not far away. And there's Marlena scooting up to be third. Holy Honey fourth. Moonee just in front of 8/8 by the 750. 2 lengths away, Holy Honey. Marlena on the fence. 2 lengths, Lady Mulan inside of cutting. Symbols on a limb, worse than centre field, 3 wide from Harpy. Belle de Jour sneaks up on the fence. Maitland Gull wide, third last from Shanzi. And Lovelorn along last as they come around the bend. Moonee shook off 8/8, straightening up, led by a length and a half. Back to the fence then, and battling on fairly is Marlena. Lady Mulan's rider has had a huge peep over his shoulder, G-Boss. And Lady Mulan let down, exploded to the front at the 200 metres mark. Belle de Jour's finally got out and is running on, but Lady Mulan zip clear. Belle de Jour's running on. Moonee kicking on, still in second position. Maitland Gull late, but Lady Mulan an effortless victory, and she kills them in the light fingers, won at 2 lengths. Maitland Gull flew and got second from Belle de Jour and Moonee. They were followed by Symbol 8/8. Marlena well back. Lovelorn making up ground. Then Shanzi, Harpy, and well back was Cutting and Holy Honey last in. Glenn Boss winning double for G-Boss. Larry Connors. Speed was frantic early, 34.31. They've come home 35.3. An overall time of 1:9.61. Skating, the race record holder at 1:9, so it's a fast run.
Everything asked about this filly.
Sum that up. Well, I thought it was contemptuous. I was watching the race. I had something on her, which always makes you feel better. Yeah. When they amble up, and she came up the rise, and Boss took this long look over his left shoulder as if to say, well, that'll do me. I'm just going to see you later. And it just reminded me of something that Shane Dye said before he left our shores. I think he said that she would win an Oaks, Lady Mulan. She mightn't have done that, but at the same time, it just emphasised the opinion he had of her, and she stamped herself full of class yesterday.
Authority, she was length better than her rivals. It's hard. I don't know whether, have you got another one up there that could challenge her, Shadow?
Well, just judging on that yesterday, no.
I tell you what will win a big race. Maitland Gull will win a big race one day. That was a real good run from Maitland Gull. It's spotting Lady Mulan probably 6-7 lengths there at halfway down the straight. Runs her down to about 3-4 lengths or something. It's probably a very good effort.
I think
Lady Mulan is very good, though. It was a soft win.
Rabbit chose the right term there. That was a win with contempt. She had a lot on her rivals there.
All right, the Royal Sovereign. Check out the next event at Randwick. This is a very interesting race, the 7th, to the resumption to racing of the Great Tie the Knot. It's the top raider, 1 ahead of 11 Rebel Rock, 4 Land Sighting, and 5 Natoir, 1, 11, 4 and 5. Tie the Knot, 14, 31 Freemason, Referral 11, 270 Land Sighting. Natoir $6, Celestial Choir, Lawyer 10, 16 Huge Demand, Rebel Rock 11, Antiquity 35, Fashion News 8.
Top pick. I'm going to throw in Tie the Knot for second. He seems to have done a fair amount of work. You wouldn't be surprised to see him jump out of the ground late. And, well, he should have almost won this race 2 years ago, Tie the Knot. I remember him running a Butte race first up from John Size does have several horses resuming here, and Lawyer, Elmerada and Celestial Choir of all.
Elmerada and Lawyer at longer odds have had specking. Very good line-up, and Tie the Knot purely out of respect at $12.90, and that's about what he is elsewhere. Just out of respect for the great horse, who looked an absolute picture moving onto the track. Balance up. Gates are back. Land Sighting away well with Huge Demand. Fashion News in the green came out quickly. He'll lead Rebel Rock, and Land Sighting sliding up on the outside to be third. Huge Demand fourth. 2 lengths away is Lawyer improving on the fence from Antiquity Tie the Knot. He's doing a good job to stay with them, the old champ, and about 5 away is Freemason. Fashion News in front, 800 metres to go by a half on Rebel Rock. 2 lengths to Huge Demand, and Land Sightings right behind them. 1 back Celestial Choir. He's 3 or 4 wide going forward. Referral very deep out. Lawyer on the fence from Elmerada. 1 back Natoir, Antiquity, Tie the Knot. Only about 8 off the lead, the champ, and 3 or 4 away last Freemason around the bend. And the leader on the fence, Fashion News from Rebel Rock, and Land Sighting coming at them. Wide out Referral, going with him Celestial Choir, back to the inside, Huge Demand, Tie the Knot running on. Over the rise, Land Sighting giving full bore. He leads the way narrowly, Celestial Choir, Tie the Knot's getting up on the fence, and Referral. Antiquity late, Land Sighting's running out of steam. Tie the Knot's getting up on the fence with Referral. Land Sighting in front, Tie the Knot charging through. Oh, champion, too good again. Tie the Knot, first up, the first time he's ever won in his career, and he's done it in great style. Photo the Miners. Second either Land Sighting, Antiquity and Referral. All there in a bunch. Elmerada late from Huge Demand, Fashion News, Celestial Choir, Freemason and Eyecatcher. Then Rebel Rock. Behind those would have been Lawyer and the Twa with the tail Lindis. What a great horse. What a great real credit to Guy Walter. And as Shane Dye mentioned from Hong Kong, the horse still had plenty of racing left in him. And you look at the Mercedes, there's no fair way. How the hell are they going to beat him when they go to wait for age over a bit longer? Number one is of the Australasian turf. And Referral has run second with Beedman aboard. I wonder what thoughts he's got. And third prize to Land Sighting. Just ran out of steam the last...
Marvellous horse, and we've said it so many times, and he's done it again today. Fabulous performance, great ride.
Lovely ride. Did Patrick ride him one day in the Turnbull Stakes some time ago?
He did. He had no luck that day. That was after he won the Underwood, and he was held up on the fence one day at Flemington.
Yeah. Hey, Guy, nothing will go right for Darren Beedman, will it? Fairway's broken down, and he's missed out on Tie the Knot.
Shocking luck for him. But anyway, that's the way it goes, unfortunately.
What's the next run, mate?
Next one will be the Apollo, and then the Chipping Norton, John.
Good on you, mate. Well done.
He jumped very well, but I was a bit mindful that I didn't want him to over-race fresh, so I literally just took a hold of him after the start. But after we went 100 metres, it was obvious that there was going to be a bit of speed on, and he was really off the bridle for the rest of the way, trying to actually keep him in contact.
Righto, so you followed the fence all the way?
Oh, my plan was to come out in the straight and give him a clear run, but I just had too much ground to make up from the 600 metres onwards, and it was impossible to come out, so I only really had one option, bar to save ground and try and win it that way.
Right, now, did you think he was going to win, say, up the rise?
I did. When he quickened, I thought, geez, he's going to be right in this. Yeah. With 100 metres to go, the horses were still going pretty strong out wider, so I was just a little bit mindful again, like first up, whether he was going to be able to keep going, but he showed great heart and fought to the line very well.
Playing off camera there, seems to race better this time of the year.
Yeah, some horses do that. I remember Durbridge, he was one. He wasn't a very good horse in the spring. He was a very good horse in the autumn, and also our winter in Brisbane. And there are horses like that. Just looking at Guy Walter there, the last time I saw Guy Walter was on Cox Plate Day. He was talking with Colin Alderson. It wasn't just after the Cox Plate either. It was after the last race on Cox Plate Day, after Sky Heights and Tie the Knot had finished down the track. Yeah. I wish I had a photo of those two gentlemen. I've never seen two more despondent trainers, not only because the horses were disappointing, but because they didn't know why. Yeah. And Guy was even saying...
I think he's a great horse. He's in the superimposed class. He's that type of horse, Keith. He seems to be very adaptable. Great ride yesterday. I mean, he couldn't have won coming round them, and you see Paddy Payne just switching there with the white cap and the red jacket back to the inside, really making ground without doing it too hard. Paddy's just got him under hands and heels riding. The other horses are starting to run in the race. Referral and Land Sighting out wide probably look like they'd win the race, but I think he's just a bit better than them, Pete.
This is his first win at the sprint distance of 1,200 metres. He's won almost $5.5 million in stakes. He's a super horse. But, gosh, what does it mean?
But Tie the Knot, I'll tell you, another horse that was a very good autumn horse, not as good in the spring, Vo Rogue.
Yep, that's true.
Yep, there's a lot of horses like that, and he's obviously one.
Right. Now, Randwick Race 8, another Misty, the top rate ahead of Spinning Hill, Win City, Miss Zoe, 8 from 2, 3 and 5. Here's the tote call, Lavilda, 48, 240, Spinning Hill, Win City, 540, Sorrento, 27. 14, Mississippi, 65, $9. Say good morning. No limit, 42.
Thought we were turning in one of his great career performances, and Patrick Payne aboard for Guy Walter. And they saddle up the favourite, Spinning Hill in the last at $2.40, and she really is the only one they want. There's no tips away from her. Pretty back, Spinning Hill. Racing. Miss Zoe, another Misty, a shade slow to go. Win City and Darla Ruby fast out, but Atomic Lover's going to explode through, and she goes to the front by 2 lengths on Win City. Spinning Hill rushing up to be third. Darla Ruby, the last one. Atomic Love took off at the 750 and led by 4 lengths now. Second position, Win City. Spinning Hill on the fence. Say good morning on the improve. One back, Darla Ruby from the grey Carylon. 2 lengths away is Miss Doopsy around No Limit. Another Misty, the other grey on the fence. 2 lengths, Sorrento wide with Miss Zoe. Shading second last and a Vilda the last one. Homeward bound. Atomic Love coming back to Win City, led by a length. One away on the outside of those coming with its run now is Say Good Morning. Spinning Hill cuts back to the inside, and Sorrento is starting to zoom down the outside with Miss Doopsy. Spinning Hill took the inside run and grabbed the front. Leads the way from Say Good Morning. Corelli getting home with Sorrento, but Spinning Hill went for home. He's the pin-up boy today, Paddy Payne. Spinning Hill roared clear, 2.5 in front of Say Good Morning Corelli, and Spinning Hill too good. 1 at 2.5 to Say Good Morning Corelli. Sorrento, No Limit, and then another Misty. They were followed by Miss Doopsy, Miss Zoe. Behind those, the builder making ground from Wind City, shading always well back with Atomic Love. And also Patrick Payne and Guy Walter. Had a big responsibility, Paddy Payne, when you consider he came to Sydney to ride the Sydney champion, who is a rising 7-year-old, and most people would say, well, he's given as much as he can only go downhill, he can't get any better. Yet Patrick Payne has got, well, one of his best performances out of him ever today, and then he's capped the day off with this splendid ride, had the right horse underneath him, gave it the box seat run, and he's won it well. It's 2:10.6. She is a horse that has had 16 starts, 1 win, 2 seconds, and incredibly a phenomenal 9 thirds, I think it is. Is it 9? Yes. So she certainly deserves to break through, and domino effect from the Waterhouse Yard. She's had 1 run back from a spell, scored at Kembla Grange, and has got...
And then you're in serious trouble. But, you know, I think what you've got to understand, they're only aluminium plates, Andrew, and they twist and pull off very easily indeed. Yeah. But it was also interesting, when they actually put the plate back on, they didn't throw the jockey up straight away. They also trotted him up to see if he was okay, but he did trot up okay. And as we see, Scenic Warrior's tightened a little bit on course.
Oh,
Brendan.
yes, we've jumped in on Scenic Warrior on track late, folks. It will tighten in on that price, and a late little rally for Scalato after he went out. Our first classic for a whole new millennium, and here is the man to call the action.
Coming up, Mr. Murphy, favourite for the race, a race that has been good to favourites over the years. Scenic Warrior, the Cadbury Guineas, and it's drawn. Scalato, an awkward draw for Patrick Payne to overcome in the Guineas. Scalato took the outside, and they're all in. They're ready for the Cadbury Guineas. Neptune's Journey out okay on the inside without gate, and Mr. Murphy, like a shot from a gun, went straight to the lead early. Away fast as Surtees, Sarsen Trail. Filatimo's right up there, so is Diamond Dane. They go through the first 200. Filatimo went to the lead now from Diamond Dane, and Mr. Murphy let them go and set by outgate Lord Dane, and 3 lengths Scalato last from the outside gate. At the 900, they're going very quickly with Costas off by a length to Filatimo. 2 lengths to Mr. Murphy, the inside of Diamond Dane. 2.5 to Fubu. Neptune's Journey next on the inside of Paradiddle. 2 lengths further back in the field is Surtees, Sarsen Trail. Then Desert Eagle pulled to the outside from Scenic Warrior. Next is Outgate as they swing the corner. Lord Dane next to last, and Scalato. Costas off, came round the turn in front of Filatimo, and Diamond Dane going up wide on the course. Plenty of room for Mr. Murphy to come through in the red colours, and they're followed by Surtees, and down the outside Scenic Warrior. Scalato still last below the 400. They're coming left, right and centre at Costas off. Mr. Zoff is coming after the leader, Mr. Murphy. He's raced through and gone to the lead. Here comes Fubu. Mr. Murphy from Fubu, and then Neptune's Journey coming through on the inside, but Mr. Murphy clear with 100 to go. He's out by 2 lengths, holds him at bay, and Mr. Murphy takes out the Guineas for Damien Oliver. Neptune's Journey is second. Outgate got up on the inside. I think it might grab third from Fubu. Next in was Surtees, Costas off, Lord Dane, followed in by Paradiddle, Scenic Warrior, Diamond Dane. Back behind them to finish was Desert Eagle, and then came Sarsen Trail, and to the tail end of the field is Filatimo with Scalato last and never came into the race, and they've run it in 1:34.4, just outside of the record. Mr. Murphy sitting just off the pace.
You know, I'd have been disappointed if he hadn't where he'd drawn. He was a horse that was going to race on the pace, and this race, as I was just saying, you can't get back in it. I don't believe any horse has ever got back in it and won the race. Yeah. And they've gone along hard. They've broken 35, so it's just a true test of quality 3-year-olds, and to be able to win it, you have to be there.
You talk about first Group 1 in Melbourne for a long time. You often
quite a while.
Quite a while, okay, quite a while. You've been rebuilding for quite a while, but this really signifies that the Freedman stable are back in a big way now.
I'm a slow builder.
Answer the question, come on.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, we've had a good feeling that we were on the right track for the last 6 months. We've got some very good 2-year-olds. These 3-year-olds are all starting to shape up, and I certainly think all right, but he didn't want to hit out on the firm ground. So I think we could be a bit forgiving there.
Okay. Great applause, Brendan, as the winner comes back with Damien Oliver.
Okay, stand by. We'll be hearing from Damien.
I had a beautiful run. I had to pinch myself to believe it was so good.
And just coming into the straight, you gained that vital break.
Yeah, I mean, he's exceptional horse, this horse. On dry ground, he's got amazing ability to just pick up and sprint. And he's
Too good for them.
All right, well done. Damien Oliver.
For the ratings, Gold Guru and Giovanna, 1 and 11 are the equal top raters from 2 Diatribe and 6 Sent Home. 1 and 11 from 2 and 6. Gold Guru is at $7.80. Diatribe's at $4.70. Number 3, Carpstad Way 12, Arcanarton $14. 5 is out. Sent Home $6.50. Black Dotaress at $29. Nina Haraka's at $4.80. And $5.50 Giovanna, and Inspect $63.
Went to the line jogging, just couldn't get a run at them in the CF4. In she goes. And Sent Home and Tickle My, the last two to move in. A race that's well represented by the mares on this occasion. Just about right outside. Sent Home is ready. All in now for the St George. All clear, they're away. Gold Guru jumped okay, but Giovanna beat him out and bounded to the front. Pace from Dotaressa and Akhenaten looking for the lead early. Sent Home began fast, settles fourth as they go through the first couple of 100 metres. Carpstad Way had dropped out to be last of all, and the leader is Dotaressa from Akhenaten at the 1400. Giovanna gets the lovely run on the inside, followed then links covered them at the 800 metres. Akhenaten the inside and Black Ledger together by 2 lengths to Sent Home. Dotaressa a half length away fourth, the inside a length and a half. Giovanna and Nina Haraka together. 2 Tickle My, and they're followed by Carpstad Way. There's Diatribe taking off wide. Gold Guru got shuffled out the second last with Inspect. As they neared the corner now, Akhenaten and Black Ledger together. Sent Home a length away. Dotaressa's had a good run. Needs a bit of luck to get a crack at them. So does Giovanna. Nina Haraka around the outside. Diatribe, the widest runner, staking his claim as they cornered. It's Akhenaten, Black Ledger with Sent Home coming at them quickly, and then Giovanna. Down the outside, Diatribe from Nina Haraka. Sent Home led at the 200. Giovanna the chaser with Dotaressa. At the 100-metre mark, Sent Home in front of Giovanna. Sent Home's 3/4. Giovanna trying hard to level up, and Carpstad Way. Sent Home, Giovanna. Sent Home. Sent Home wanted to head to Giovanna. Kiwi Quinella. Carpstad Way made the trifecta. They were clear then, and well clear of Inspect, who came from last, was a big run, and then Diatribe and Dotaressa. Nina Haraka, Tickle My, Black Ledger, and back at the tail end, Gold Guru and Akhenaten. 47.19, and that's a record set by Vo Rogue and equalled by Waikikamukow. Sent Home. Number 6, the winner on the first of our features, the St George. Let's head downstairs to Andrew.
Well done, Jim Wallace.
Thanks, Andrew.
Well, satisfied.
Spot the Aussie, and we couldn't. The Kiwis are in 1, 2 and 3. All turned in top Australian Cup trials. The winning, you know, like first glances, Giovanna and Carpstad Way will beat him when they get to 2000 at Flemington. But, you know, if the winner can hold up and sprint away, they get away with it at Flemington too. Well, I think all 3 are right in the Australian Cup, and I think the Aussies have got to lift their game.
I'd agree with that. I don't think the Australian contingent, probably headed by Northerly at this stage, is you know, really that strong at the moment. They're not that deep anyway. Northerly's certainly very good, but there's not much behind him.
And David,
Hill Gardens market though on the 5th at Caulfield, and it's 2 Dandify 3 Len Kwai Fong, the top raters from 5 Flying Spice and 9 Mrs Tendulkar. Here's your tote call. Ponton Fly number 1 is around about $10, $7 Dandify, Len Kwai Fong $3.70, Blue Angel 19, $7.40 Flying Spice, Big Odds Dashing Interbank, Mrs Tendulkar at around about the $17 mark, 16 in fact. Then Storm at Midnight, St Therese, Long Odds Best, and also Dandify, and you're getting good value currently about Dandify number 2. Right, the great race trainers, particularly of the 60s and the 70s, 80s, and
Quinella, the Vanity, there's a pull in the weights to Dandify of some 2.5 kilos today. This is Dashing Granada blindfolded out behind the line, just hang around a little. Off, White Hart Lane away okay, Glass jumped well, and Dashing Granada was away quickly. Away fast too in the early part, Rose Archway going towards the leaders, and St Therese wide out with Lang Kwai Fong and Ponton Flyer all jump well. As they settled into stride, St Therese took up the running, led by a half a length now to Flying Spice, and Lan Kwai Fong caught out a little, so McAvoy boots her up into second outside the leader. Archie whipping around the outside quickly, going to take a more forward roll and come here, tracked her into the race. Well back on the inside then came Rose Archway, followed then by Interbank travelling out wide, and then Dashing Granada the centre. A length Dandify, Storm at Midnight's caught very deep. Glass well back on the inside from Mrs Tendulkar. Oh Blue Angel ridden off the pace, and Best Intentions last on the inside by the 800. St. Therese on top by 3/4 to Lan Kwai Fong, 1 Sinachi. White Hart Lane fourth on the inside, followed by Flying Spice. A length come here out 3 wide around Pont on Flyer. Rose Archway the rail to Interbank, Dandify a long way back, followed by Dashing Granada, Glass Mrs. Tendulkar, Oh Blue Angel, Best Intentions, and Storm at Midnight last as they corner. St. Therese led from the maiden Sinachi. Lan Kwai Fong's under a lot of pressure as they corner, and they're followed then by Rose Archway and Flying Spice having a bump at the top of the straight, but St. Therese the leader at the 200. Rose Archway coming after a Pont on Flyer, Dandify down the outside. It's Rose Archway chasing down St. Therese. St. Therese being tackled by Rose Archway. Rose Archway went home the better. Rose Archway beat St. Therese. Pont on Flyer out wider, grabbing third. Then Dashing Granada, Dandify very deep, and then came Lan Kwai Fong, Interbank and Flying Spice. Just behind these then Mrs. Tendulkar, Oh Blue Angel, followed by Best Intentions, Sinachi, White Hart Lane, Glass, a long break then to come here, who's second last and a bad last in the race, Storm at Midnight.
Let's pick up the action as they approach the home turn. There was some interference there. The Quinella 72.50, the trifecta $1,318.
Away with that. I was disappointed with Lan Kwai Fong's run insofar that she sat outside St. Therese, who battled on and just got beaten, and so it can't have been going that hard in front, and you know, ended up beating only a couple homes. So it was a disappointing run, but Rose Archway just keeps leaping from strength to strength.
Beaten a maiden at Bendigo 6 weeks ago and 3 successive wins since.
The Schweppes Cup, 7 Pfizer, 10 La Lagoon, 1 Lonro are the ratings. It's 9 from 7, 10, 1. Tote Call, it's Lonro 370, 960 Ebony Knight, Oberdili 25, 15 Spectatorial, Newand at 11, 6 out, Pfizer 820, 650 True Jewels number 8. We've got Langostine at $4.30, 20 La Lagoon, and the Titanic Rose $20, the 6th. The Amy Blue Diamond Stakes early look at the Teal Gardens in 20 minutes. Right, one last look at the tote market here for the Amy Blue Diamond Stakes as we take it to Greg Miles.
Right, Graham, just 4 or 5 to move in for Victoria's Premier 2-row favourite, though, ahead of Longestine, Pfizer and True Jewels. True Jewels with the blinkers on first time. Newand looks at the field again. Off. Lonro, La Lagoon both began okay. Pfizer away very fast and Spectatorial outrunning. Ebony Knight showing no dashes, settling towards the end, and Oberdeli's been snagged right back to last. At the 1,000, Spectatorial in front of La Lagoon. True Jewels over on the rails as the 2 lengths to Oberdeli as they came to the 600 metres, and Spectatorial led from La Lagoon second. True Jewels is third, the inside from Newand and Pfizer 3 deep. Longestine over on the rails, and they're followed by Lonro going up on the outside of Titanic Rose and Oberdeli, and Ebony Knight are the last 2 around the home turn and the diamond, and Spectatorial against the rail in front of La Lagoon. True Jewels getting a run through. Pfizer called on from Newand. Longestine is struggling. Lonro's a good way back, unwinding his run. La Lagoon is coming after the leader with True Jewels. Spectatorial's fighting on well. Spectatorial, True Jewels, La Lagoon on the outside. True Jewels put the head in front of the middle from La Lagoon. True Jewels has won it. True Jewels are neck on the line. McAvoy and Moroney have done it again. True Jewels beating La Lagoon and Spectatorial. Ebony Knight right behind them with Pfizer and Newand, and they were trailed further back by Lonro, who never came into it, and then Longestine. Further back in the field is Titanic Rose, and Oberdeli snagged to the rear, and that's where he stayed. True Jewels.
Let's try and get a few more of the 6 ladies that own it. Well done.
Oh, fantastic. Unbelievable. So exciting.
I've never heard a group of ladies go off so much.
Oh, we go off, and when we go really well.
Well done. How did you feel watching it?
I'm so excited. So fantastic.
To see her win, because, you know, I thought we were pretty unlucky in Sydney and that, and it just proves her toughness, because she went all the way to Sydney and then came back here and that, and we put her in the paddock for a week and then worked around a farm for a wee bit for a bit of a change for her and that, and she's just one of those fillies that you can do that too.
Melbourne.
It's all about to see those sort of people do that. So.
And Kay McAvoy again.
Yeah, certainly. Look, he's flying, isn't he? You know, again, possibly Stephen Bassett could have ridden her and that, but he elected to sit and wait for Ebony Knight, so it's sick.
Yeah, True Jewels, young Karen McAvoy, first, second placing to La Lagoon, which battled on well, and Spectatorial showed a ton of cheek in the race, finishing third, and right on, of course, was the favourite, and that was Lonro. Hasn't this boy improved, young Karen McAvoy?
he's improved a lot, and I think he's riding with so much more confidence. You notice when he's riding at minor meetings, at the provincials, when he's on 6-4 chances and that now, he gives them every hope, and he's certainly one of the coming stars of the Australian turf. The Blue Diamond form, I just don't know what to make about it. I thought the 2 Alley won it for True Jewels yesterday. Like, when you look at a lot of the form, La Lagoon ran second, like she was kicked in the teeth by Pelt last start. Like, Pelt's not in Sydney or Melbourne's best 10 2-year-olds. And then you get True Jewels, who couldn't beat Fair Embrace at Randwick the other day, and Fair Embrace got walked over in the Silver Slipper yesterday. But then, on the other side of the coin, you've got Phaser and Longrow, who are certainly in Sydney's, I'd say, 2 of our best 4 2-year-olds, if not, you know, without knocking, they'd have to be right up there, and they were beaten comfortably yesterday. I do think Spectatorial raced well because he went straight over when nothing wanted to lead. I then think...
It was the world's richest handicap, the Melbourne Cup, and yesterday, our state's richest 2-year-old race.
Yeah, Keith, I'm not trying to be too critical of 2 Jewels. She just won a Group 1 2-year-old race. I'm just saying that I'm not 100% sure that the form's going to hold up. Like, it can happen. It can happen in Golden Slippers too.
I think the point with 2-year-olds at the moment is there appears to be only 1 star 2-year-old in the country at the moment, and that's Accelerator. And the rest of them, I think, are a pretty even bunch. They keep swapping the results in big races.
From your stable?
Well, he's got to prove it yet. He beat, you know, he beat probably an even bunch of 2-year-olds when he won, so he's got plenty to do.
7 before we take a break, the Futurity. And it's 11 Mr. Murphy, the top rater from 4 Scusi Please, 12 Desert Sky, 1 Sky Heights. Here's the tote call. Sky Heights, big odds at 37, 480 Black Bean, Brave Chief 31, Scusi Please 430, big odds Go Flash Go, Sedation, In a Flurry and Yumaline number 8. Whilst 9 is Nawasi 53, 29 Porter Rocker, Mr. Murphy 340, Desert Sky 12, 18 Sail of Century, and it's Black Bean 560 now, Scusi Please $4.20, strong tip. Double figure odds, the remainder there, and the best of the others, as we mentioned, is in fact the favourite, and that is Mr. Murphy. Late tip for Black Bean. It's currently about $5.60.
Well, thanks, Graham. Mr. Murphy, first time out against the older horses, is the favourite. He's been well backed. Second favourite is Scusi Please. But racing, Sedation out okay, So Gorgeous missed it about a length the outside. Mr. Murphy, Desert Sky both began fast and they head off Scusi Please, Go Flash Go and Brave Chief. Through the first 250 metres now, and Desert Sky settling in front. He's a length and a half clear. Go Flash Go pulled up into second placing. Mr. Murphy lobbed along third the inside, and then Brave Chief's got a half behind these. Sail of Century, followed then by Sky Heights and In a Flurry at the tail of the Futurity field by the 800, where Desert Sky, the leader, 3/4, Go Flash Go, Brave Chief travelling wide. In behind them, Mr. Murphy, the favourites, fourth on the inside, and then Scusi Please a neck away his outer. Wonder Yumaline, Sedation, Porter Rocker a length further back as Black Bean, and then Noirseer and So Gorgeous, 3 lengths Sail of Century, Hard Ridden, Sky Heights and In a Flurry. Desert Sky led for home at the 400 from Go Flash Go, Mr. Murphy. Oliver's looking for somewhere to go. The favourite's got something to give. Round the outside comes Yumaline, and Scusi Please is getting into the clear. Mr. Murphy's going for a rails run. Desert Sky in front. Scusi Please is swapping him on the outside. Here's Porter Rocker and Black Bean coming, and Mr. Murphy the rail. Desert Sky a leader with 100 to go. Coming at him, Black Bean, Porter Rocker, Mr. Murphy the rail. Desert Sky, Mr. Murphy coming at him. Desert Sky, I think a nose to Mr. Murphy. The 3-year-olds have fought it out. Desert Sky, I think's won again. Porter Rocker's charged into third placing. Scusi Please, Black Bean next, and they were trailed then just behind them. Sedation, Yumaline and Go Flash Go. Sky Heights and then Sail of Century. Noirseer, In a Flurry, So Gorgeous towards the tail with Brave Chief. The finish links about that could be a dead heat. My point of view, it's a dead heat. It's a dead heat between Desert Sky and Mr. Murphy. 11 and 12, the 3-year-olds who've dominated the race in recent years. Dead heat.
All right, well, there are all the approximates for you, and we're standing by for confirmation of weight. Now, let's look into make it a dead heat.
Yeah, I certainly thought Desert Sky had lasted, and I know Lee Friedman said after the race he thought Desert Sky was going to win to that last half a bound. The big story of that race, I think, was the fact that Damien Oliver asked to look at the steward's film after the race to decide whether to protest or not, and I'm sure that was Damien was looking on the home turn to see whether Darren Gauci would give him a little bit of a in and outer, you know, come in and then cut him off. But when you look at it, he didn't. I think probably, and this is probably why Damien didn't protest, he probably just anticipated the run coming just that touch before it did. But now when Gauci has to go for the leader, the horse hangs out, as he's done a couple of times. The run comes. And I was more impressed by Mr. Murphy in this run, and I was also impressed by the other dead heater, but I was impressed more by Mr. Murphy showing his guts here than in his soft wins at his previous couple of starts. Geez, you improved a lot.
Just back on the corner there, Keith, the only... I watched it on video, and I was, you know, I wasn't surprised when Damien wanted to look at the film. I was surprised he didn't look at it for a bit longer, because Keith said it was a very short look. I wasn't there at the time. But
if it had been a movie video, he wouldn't have got to the titles. He looked at it for 2 seconds.
Right on the corner here, you see. Yeah.
But is Mr. Murphy going to be the
had a real good horse? He's certainly the best horse we've had in the last 4 or 5 years, and he's you know, he's really making leaps and bounds. It's
some compensation. I mean, you lost Scalato for 6 months.
Yes, that was a bit of a blow, but you know, horses do break down. That's the nature of race. He certainly had problems from the time we've had him. We've been managing a few little problems with him. So unfortunately, they all, you know, it came to a head with his tendon going. But we'll go on now to Sydney and run in weight for age races in Sydney, with the ultimate goal being the Doncaster.
Right. Okay, let's bigger celebration to come. Toledo 12, 8.10 Flavour, Weasel Will 12, 14 a point, Cullen 12, Miss Penny Money $7.20, Danny Nicolex Mount. Normal Practice at 33, 20 Shower Heart number 8. And then NTN 34, 22 Stand By Me, Crixia 21s, number 12 out, Miss Corner Cove at 3.50, and Natural Tycoon $8.50. Okay, thank you for that, Andrew.
51.5. She stays on the same. A horse like Carlyon that finished just behind her that day drops 4 kilos on that particular performance, or 4.5 kilos. With Chris Muntz on board. This is a very, very interesting race, this.
Weights are more compressed now in these sprints, aren't they, compared to what they were like 10 years ago when you had a minimum of 47.5.
Well, you go back...
A third of the Group 1 races for the day. Let's take it to Greg Miles for the Oakley Plate.
Wayne Graham joining us as well. Miss Corner Caver is the favourite for the race, as has been pointed out. She has a win at the course and distance, and she was just a tick outside the course record when she did so. Last filly to win was With Me, and before her it was Dual Choice, so she'd join some pretty smart netties if she's able to pull it off today. Racing. Miss Cornucova began okay. Nanty in away in a hurry. Also out fastest. Crixia on the outside looking for the lead soon after the start. Cullen settled second, then Nanty in. Natural Tycoon fourth. The infielders Toledo, Weasel, Will and about 4 lengths to Normal Practice. Crixia at the 600, led by a length and a half to Cullen. Nanty in a neck away. 2 lengths Natural Tycoon, and then Miss Cornucova moving up fifth. 2 lengths a point. Stand By Me, Miss Penny Money. Behind these is Flavour, Shower Heart, and then Toledo, Weasel Will, and about 8 lengths Normal Practice. The Flying Crixie around the turn, and the Oakley Plate by 2 to Cullen. Natural Tycoon, Miss Cornucova under the whip but answering, and then came a point and Miss Penny Money. Crixie at the 150, tackled by Natural Tycoon. Miss Cornucova, Miss Penny Money running on, and then Shower Heart. It's Miss Cornucova racing to the lead over Crixia. Miss Cornucova, Crixia, Miss Penny Money flying, but Miss Cornucova, she's won it. Miss Cornucova's beaten Miss Penny Money, and Flavour splashed home along the inside. They were followed by Show of Heart, and just behind these horses then Crixia, and then came a point, Stand By Me, Natural Tycoon, weak in the last little bit of the race. Further back in the field was Weasel, Will, Nanty and Toledo, Normal Practice and Cullen. Turn under the whip, but she just kept finding Miss Penny Money. She's back, the Newmarket winner from last year, beaten in a photo finish, and in course record time they've run 1:2.08. 1:2.08, a course record winning performance. Third place.
Well done. Yeah, fantastic, Andrew. We love this filly, and you know, putting her into a Group 1 again, we were nervous about it, but she's a great filly, and you know, over the moon.
Really, well, you got a bit emotional there. I mean, she's a filly that really does promise everything for you.
Well, she has. You know, we ran her in the Salinger, and I suppose both Matthew and I just couldn't live with ourselves for a week after it. But we were, as I said, we were nervous about doing it again, but you know, we got away with it. So, oh, she was gone, wasn't she? She was just being niggled at for the, you know, before the corner, and so I thought when she straightened up, I knew she'd find, but you know, she struggled. It's a record, is it?
It is, course record.
Course record. Well, there you go. Yeah.
All right, well done to you.
Thanks,
David.
mate.
Okay. David and Miss Cornucova, what are your plans now with her?
She'll go to Sydney.
She'll go to Sydney. Yeah. Some good races up there through the autumn.
Yeah, you know, probably culminating in a race like the Coolmore or something.
Yeah. How many Group 1s is that for you now, Matt?
Oh, 3.5.
3.5. You'll take it as one, mate.
Yeah.
So make it 4.
When I thought, she looked beaten a few times there in the straight.
Yeah, it was a great win, and for a 3-year-old filly to do that, she's obviously something a bit special. A few things I thought about the Oakley Plate. With the winner, she was just travelling so beautifully. The Natural Tycoon, just as she come into the turn, balked her and sort of put her on the wrong leg, and then for her to get going again and win, I thought it was a terrific performance. Good too to see Miss Penny Money on the way back, and I thought Flavour was a bit unlucky. I think, without being too critical, Darren Gauchi was sort of going to follow the winner, and then he switched back and lost a little bit of momentum at the wrong time. I'm not saying he would have won, but the old fellow would have been right there. But the thing we've forgotten on the program this morning, we give Lee Friedman a rap. We've talked about several things. Matthew Ellerton, he's only a young bloke. He trained 2 Group 1 winners before yesterday and 2 on the one day yesterday. Now, David Moonee put a lot of confidence when he engaged this chap to take over his stable, and Matthew Ellerton hasn't let anyone down.
And Miss Penny Money, who found form yesterday, will try for back-to-back wins in the Newmarket after her great run in the Oakley Plate.
Graham, I think a funny thing, David Mooney was asked something about...
4 and 10 equal top raters from 6 Crestfallen 9 for 4th. Here's the tote call. Beat the Fade 970, 960 Stella Marie, Regal Touch 20, Profit 550, 470 Perfect Halo, Crestfall. And then we've got 850 Mini Me, Nanny Maroon $6.80, double figure.
Very good betting race. Maroon's been well tried. She's at second. Robert Thompson in all of her victories has been aboard. And Robert not riding Nanny Maroon today. Digger McClellan's picked up the ride. A lot of speed there appears on paper early. Racing, what a great start. Brompton's Girl, Nanny Maroon dropped back after the kick. Grand Performance, Popette, Perfect Halo, and fast out Mini Me the Grey going quickly. Gold Amp, Cuttings burning through, and Crestfallen on the fence. Mini Me's going to lead Crestfallen, going quickly now. Cutting going to second. Perfect's wide, but she leads at the 600 by a head on Crestfallen with the fence. 2 lengths to Cutting. Perfect Halo, well positioned. Popette wide on the rail is Gold Amp. They were followed by Beat the Fade, badly held up from Grand Performance. Nanny Maroon to the outside, Stella Marie outside of it. Homeward bound, 400 to go. Mini Me the leader from Crestfallen. Perfect Halo into the clear, and Popette coming with the blue cap on the outside, and Nanny Maroon is dropping from the clouds. Nanny Maroon at the 200 metres mark moved up and hit the lead from Popette. Perfect Halo and Stella Marie. Beat the Fade, can't get a run. Nanny Maroon went for home, 75 to go, and she's got the Millie Fox in a keeping. Nanny Maroon well clear from Stella Marie, and Nanny Maroon beat Stella Marie and Popette. Close up Beat the Fade, no luck from Perfect Halo. Snartick late on the inside from Mini Me, Grand Performance. Yeah, she's a beautiful big strong mare by Alquaz, and she's made it win number 7 now from 12 starts, and her record...
Waiting Super Tab approximates to jump in. Just for Canal, approximates to jump in. Just for Canal, it's 1 Accelerator. This is the Silver Slipper. And 4 Fair Embrace, the joint top raters ahead of 5. Donna Natalia and 2 Viscount. 1 and 4 equally from 5 and 2. Accelerators $1.60. Viscount 13, 14 Al Sakeb. Fair Embrace $8.80. $6.40 Donna Natalia. And Ha Ha $7.60.
The late support is back for Accelerator. He's come back in a fraction. Fair Embrace moves up. Gates are back. Viscount beaten for speed early. He's last. Fast out Fair Embrace. Donna Natalia is burning forward, and she's going to go to the front. Rushing up quickly. Ha Ha goes to second. Fair Embrace third. 2 lengths Alsa Kev Accelerator on the fence, and 2 lengths to Viscount. 100 to run. It's the fillies in front. Donna Natalia leading the way from moving up again. Ha Ha. Fair Embrace wide. Accelerator back on the fence, just being niggled at to pick up the bit from Viscount, and Alsa Kev to the outside. Donna Natalia the front runner, 350 to go by 2 lengths on Ha Ha. Fair Embrace down the centre. Accelerator trying to get through on the inside. He's slowly but surely winding up, trying to get through on the inside. He's slowly but surely winding up, and then Viscount. Accelerator on the inside. Nothing but games. Hit the front from Ha Ha. Fair Embrace. Donna Natalia. Accelerator in front. The Millions winner. He oozes class. He's going to win again. 5 out of 5. Great performance. Accelerator by a length to Ha Ha and Donna Natalia. Fair Embrace next from Viscount. And Al Sakeb last in, and he is one heck of a 2-year-old, that bloke.
And you've got both of them? Both of them, yeah. You should be at the football, shouldn't you? No, we've just won. Cassidy
went through on the inside of those horses. You'll note he was still 4 or 5 off the rail, and he was trying to edge a bit further out all the time. This was this horse's first run since the Magic Millions. He ran the last 633.26. He's got heaps of class. His brother's a 1.5 mile horse. He's been up a fair while. He ran in the Magic Millions in January. He's had his first run now 6 or 7 weeks later to win. Now the trick is for Gay to keep him going another 6 weeks it is to Golden Slipper Day. She's just the lady to do it, but it's not an easy task after you run in the Magic Millions, Rich, is it?
No, it's not. It's a fairly difficult one, and you know, after the Magic Millions last year, we thought Assertive Lad, you know, had virtually a mortgage on the Golden Slipper, but it didn't prove to be either. And he was certainly beaten by lesser horses on the day.
But you were saying earlier, Rich, that he stands out amongst the crop this season.
Well, he does, because he's the only one that's consistently kept winning, and he deserves his place at the top of the market. But I agree with Ken there. He's no good thing to win the Golden Slipper. He'd have to draw right, he'd have to get the right run in the race. He's not that much better than the others that you just say, well, the race is over. So Golden Slipper's still a very wide open affair.
His workmanlike and hit the roof. Glen Boss, $5.30. Fubu, $8.70. Scenic Warrior, $6.90. Neptune's Journey, $6.80. Royale Exit, $8.60. In Dancer, $4.20. Adolescence, $14. Classic Ben. Race coming up at Caulfield. The Shannon's Classic, a Group 2, 1,800 metres and more than 400,000.
Good on a roll, they're away, and Surtees began fast. Classic Ben Barrow a little slow, and dropping back through the field early too is Academy Dancer with about 3 behind him as they settle down. Adolescence going on looking for the lead. Fubu across quickly into second placing. Surtees, Neptune's Journey right behind them. Inspires on the improve from an outside barrier, and they're followed by Lord Dane, Scenic Warrior. Further back, Classic Ben there. Braille and then Scenic Warrior. Hit the Roof is travelling 3 wide with 1,000 to go. Classic Ben Barrow the fence. Then came Academy Dancer Burley. Lessons who retained the fence at the 800. 2 Inspire. In behind them, Neptune's Journey 4th on the rail, followed by Surtees and Lord Dane together. Hit the Roof has been 3 wide the whole trip, and then Scenic Warrior, Burley, Classic Ben Barrow, Academy Dancer next to last, and Royale Exit at the 500. And the leader Adolescence by ahead to Fubu, and then Inspire. Just behind these is Neptune's Journey, followed by Lord Dane. Hit the Roof is running on to Spidey's hard run. Scenic Warrior and back behind them are Surtees and Academy Dancer about 2nd or 3rd. Last cornering where Fubu shot to the lead over Adolescence. Inspire and Neptune's Journey next. Running on is Lord Dane and then Hit the Roof. It's Fubu, the leader, though, with 100 to go. He leads by 2 lengths, Neptune's Journey and Inspire. Little Fubu in front, Neptune's Journey starting to lift. Fubu by a neck coming down to the line, and Fubu, I think, fell in and beat Neptune's Journey a nose. Photo 3rd, Inspire or Scenic Warrior. Academy Dancer made ground the inside. Then came Hit the Roof and Burley out wider from Lord Dane, Surtees. Further back, the blinkers off him 2 starts ago. He's since run placings in Group 1 and Group 2 races successively.
Right, Greg, thank you, and what a great compliment it is to young Vin Hall to be even given a ride in a Group 2 race when apprentices are...
on the 28th of March. This is a lead-up race to that.
Been racing consistently enough, and it wasn't surprising at all to see Fubu break through yesterday. How much further can he go, Keith?
Well, I think he'll go to the Canterbury Guineas, Joe. That's on March the 17th. That'll be his next target. I thought Hit the Roof, the Derby winner. I mean, Glenn Boss's ride was a Barry Crocker, and he admitted it himself. He asked the race that it wasn't a good ride. And
Yeah.
don't sack Hit the Roof. He's
hit the what?
Trouble, Scenic Warrior.
You know, this sounds biased, but he should have won the race. He's got beaten 2 lengths. He's got flat. You see him there. He's got flattened on the corner by Hit the Roof. He was probably getting a little tired because he had a hard run and laid in. And then a thing came out inside, and he got the sandwich there again. He's finally going to start to get between Hit the Roof and Lord Dane, I think it is, and Hit the Roof lays back in on him again. Finally gets a break. The bird's flown, though. And look at the last 50 metres, just under a hole.
Every time he races, the stewards take extra paper for his report.
He's an unlucky horse.
Mentioned 3 times, I think, in the stewards' report.
He had the blinkers off there yesterday, and he's right back to his best. He's a bit...
Foire Day 94 and Universal Prince 90. The market, however, one is out. He had a hoof problem in the last couple of days, Assertive Lad. Universal Prince 320, Sir Clive 370, Debrief 690, Foire and Symbol $4.30, taken out of an easier race to run in this. 100 Hobartville Stakes. Assertive Ladder Shock scratching the small. Terry Bailey is ready for his call.
And then we've got Symbol as Tappy joins me. Down the bottom, Symbol, she's very firm, just a query in the... This will be it. Gates open. Fearless Fred away very quickly. Symbol wide out, jumped well, and Debrief was into stride very quickly. Not far away as they get going is Fuwadi, and just behind him is Debrief. 2 lengths away to Sir Clive and Universal Prince on his outside. 1 away on the fence, Fuwadi. Lovelorn, the Oaks winner, in close attendance. 2 lengths away then is Sir Clive. Gee, Universal Prince is not going real well, and they're going at the moment. He's a further 4 lengths astern. 600 metres to go. Fearless Fred in front. Debrief getting up on his inside. Fuwadi taking the shortcut on the rail, and Symbol 4 wide. 1 away, Lovelorn. Sir Clive tracks up on the fence. He's only 3 off the lead and starting to close, and 3 lengths to Universal Prince. Homeward bound, 400 to go on the Hobartville, and Fuwadi got up on the rail. Sir Clive went up inside of him as Debrief hit the lead in the cerise jacket from Fearless Fred. Universal Prince has pulled to the extreme outside, but he's 5 off the lead. Debrief and Sir Clive together. They've dropped Fuwadi and Fearless Fred. The Kiwi had raced to the front, Sir Clive. He gave him a cut down the side, Beasley, and away goes the Kiwi. He roared away now. He's 2 lengths on Debrief, and Sir Clive's a mile too good. He outdoes them by 2 lengths. Debrief second, Fuwadi third. Then came Universal Prince. Just forget he went around. He never went a yard in the track. They were followed by Lovelorn, Fearless Fred, and Symbol likewise not handling the conditions last in. The trifecta, $86.60. Fourth home was number 2, and that is Universal Prince. In the end, he's done a pretty good job to get that close. 100.
Felt enormous, you know. The track was downgraded. I think it was after race 2, may have been race number 3. How bad was it?
It was quite bad, especially down the back near the half mile, 600. It was really bad.
Deteriorated really quickly, didn't it? Because we had that heavy rain in the early part of the day, and not long.
Roney can breathe easily. Tie the Knot is rating 83, Land Sighting 83, and Referral 70. Number 1, Tie the Knot, $7.30. 2, Referral, $13. Number 3, Land Sighting, 17. Number 8, Brave Prince is 56. Over to Sunline, $1.20, and Coco Cabana, $31. Nearly 209. And you know what that is. Here's Terry Bailey at Warwick Farm for the Apollo Stakes.
Sunline at prohibitive odds. The best backed has been Coco Cabana at long ends, but Sunline, all the rage. The great, great New Zealand mare. Just looking at the race book. 7 starts distance, 7 wins. 7 in the wet, 7 wins. 2 at the track, 2 wins. Track and distance, 2 starts, 2 wins. Apollo Stakes. Lights are on. Gates are back. Sunline pinged out in the centre. She was away fast. El Mirada past her. Express began very quickly. Celestial Choir going forward. Coco Cabana not far away, and tied 100 metres out. Sunline is just idling in front. Pastor Express wide. Land Sightings rushed up in the centre, and you're 800 metres to go, and the Super Champ Sunline in front. Away from the rail, leading by a length on Celestial Choir and Land Sighting. 1 back, Pastor Express. Tie the Knot hugs the fence and continues to make ground from Referral. 2 lengths El Mirada. They were followed by Brave Prince, Lawyer, and Coco Cabana. Charles sitting as quiet as a mouse as they come around the bend. Sunline at the 450 in charge. 3/4 on the old-timer Celestial Choir. They've just dropped Land Sighting. Tie the Knot's getting up on the fence, and the Champ's about to run on. And then Referral, homeward bound. And Sunline, what an awesome sight she is as she straightens up at the 300. Charles sitting quietly. She's 2 lengths in front of Celestial Choir. Tie the Knot on the fence, and then further back to Referral and Land Sighting. Sunline's well clear, 100 metres to go. Sit back, Sydney, and enjoy one of the all-time greats. He hasn't moved on her. She is going to kill them in the Apollo. Sunline by 2 lengths, Celestial Choir. Referral got up for third. Tie the Knot beaten but not disgraced, a good fourth. Then came Land Sighting, Lawyer, El Mirada, Brave Prince, Pastor Express, and Coco Cabana last in. And that was nothing more than an exhibition gallop for the great mare. No, there's no doubting her. Sunline, she is all in a league of her own. There is no horse, particularly mare, considering that she is a mare, regardless whether it's spring, autumn, where the race is, whether it's fast, whether it's heavy, it makes no difference. And you'd have to go a long way back through the record books to a horse that can do everything that she has done, Sunline. And 5.45. And we sit back now and we hope that everything goes according to plan when she goes to Dubai with her 2 missions over there. And as we know, if she can run up to her best form and handle the track conditions, then, gee, she's going to give them some curry when she gets over there, the great mare.
Like that, it's just so easy, I just can't believe it. She does it with so much ease every time, doesn't she? It's unbelievable. She just seems to be getting better and better, and she just loves it. just appreciate this applause. It's quite phenomenal, the interest that she's created today.
Oh, it is unreal. You know, you haven't seen a horse create interest like this since Octagonal, and it's what racing needs to bring people back. And, you know, she loves it and we love it, so I hope she carries on.
Well, I know
how hard it is. I've been around a long time, been riding a lot of horses, and to work, you know, every jockey works hard to strive to ride a great horse. And I'm just pleased that the day I die, or on my deathbed, I can say I rode a champion once.
And how was she today in the run?
She jumped away terrific, quite aggressive. She settled down. Took her probably a couple of furlongs to settle down into a rhythm, but once we were going past about the 1,000-metre mark, she was lovely and relaxed and just striding along nicely. Around the turn, we put a bit of pressure on, and she took a little while to get going because the heavy track just tied her down a little. But
now, I've read reports in the paper that you think she's come back even better.
Well, definitely think so, and as you can see today, she's got stronger in herself, and probably shown about 20 k's more than what she did last year.
And what I think Sunline's the greatest mare we've all seen. You know, I don't think any of us could ever say we'd seen a better mare, but you know, it's going overseas. It's a big step for her. It's a different, a whole different scenario over there. They're allowed to put pacemakers in the race, and those pacemakers they're not really contenders to win the race. They're just out there to make sure that the pace is very, very strong for horses in the same stable. And someone could send a pacemaker out, or 2 or 3 of them perhaps, to take her on, and that would make life considerably more difficult for Sunline. And you know, different track surface, she's got to travel a long way, different seasons. It's all tough, you know, so I hope she does it. I'd like to see her have a go at it, but I think you've got to be prepared to forgive her if she doesn't win over there. She's still the greatest mare we've seen.
And the blonde girl is extraordinary.
And does it go beyond being possibly the best race mare we've seen in the modern era? Is she
That's
arguably
right.
one of the best race horses that we've seen in the modern era, even since, say, Kingston Town? Or certainly a horse hasn't created the sort of euphoria that Sunline has yesterday since he was racing.
Yeah. Race number 6, 5, Iglesia, and 12, Giscard are the equal top raters, ahead of 3 Sports and 9, Show a Heart. Here's the tote call: Black Bean 5.20, 14 Easy Rocking, Sports 17, 9.40 Miss Penny Money, Iglesia $9, 27 Toledo, Flavour at 23, Weasel Will, any old odds. We've got number 9, which is Show a Heart, 12.38 Normal Practice, 14 Spying, Giscard 21, 12 St Petersburg, Zariz 13, 8.8. And then 17, which is Costa's off at 51, Mannington 23, Noircy 122, and 21 Porter Rocker.
Favourite Iglesia at 6.20 jumps out of stall 12. And from that point, Stephen Arnold could choose which side he's going to go. They're nearly ready. St Petersburg away from the gates. Here's Shower Heart coming in. He's won from the outside in 19, Shower Heart. St Petersburg is in. Set for the Newmarket. Racing. And Iglesia began well, and so did Easy Rocking. Flavour got away well. All Miss Penny Money and Costa's off are having a bump. They're coming to the outside. They're switching and changing those horses, drawn the middle of the line. Iglesia now is starting to spear across towards the inside with great pace. Down on that flat side, Mannington got away well with Sports, and Iglesia did some work, but finally got up there to join them. 8.8 and Zariz are right behind them with Miss Penny Money and Costa's off. Easy Rocking is wider out. Normal Practice next with Black Bean buried away over on the inside. Back behind them, Toledo, and they're followed by Flavour. And well back in the field there is Spying and Gallopini out on the grandstand side, and Giscard is one of the leaders with St Petersburg, clear of Shower Heart, Weasel Will, Porter Rocker, and Noircy is last of the division on the grandstand, but I think the flat have it at the 400, where Flavour's in front. Easy Rocking's coming after it quickly, followed by Mannington. Toledo starting to run on, and then came Zariz. Iglesias not in the race at the moment. Gallopini with a run, and on the grandstand, Shower Heart's at the front with Giscard and St Petersburg. It's Toledo racing to the front on the flat side, though, from Mannington. Shower Heart leading the grandstand, but Toledo's the leader in the Newmarket, and Toledo has won it. Toledo for Damien Oliver. Photo the Miners. Mannington is over on the inside. Shower Heart's close up on this grandstand side, leading that division out there. Just behind those horses, Zariz and Black Bean, followed closely then by Spying, and then came Gallopini and Flavour. Iglesia knocked up, followed by Costa's off. Giscard was about second home on the grandstand side. Next is 8H Normal Practice. Then Porter Rocker, Miss Penny Money and Flavour. Weasel Will Never in it, St Petersburg and Nawasi towards the tail of the field in the Newmarket. And Easy Rocking also tired after showing up.
They got the breakthrough, Russ.
Yeah, sensational horse. You know, he's the first Group 1 winner and he's won it again. It's great.
Fan win, and well done to Russell Cameron. 4 of them in the race. He's finished first and third in a great training for effort.
Yeah, and well done, Damien Oliver. He's a mere genius.
To run third was good because it puts a lot of value on it. It's been a well-bred filly.
You went into the race, as I mentioned, saddling up 4. Were you reasonably confident, even though it was a Group 1 and the 21 runners in the race, that you had a strong chance of taking out the big sprint?
I thought they'd all be competitive. You know, it's very hard to be super confident in a big race like that, but I thought they'd be competitive.
And Toledo, he's... yeah, look, this is Penny Money. In 10 is Costa's Off. Barrier 11 is Easy Rocking. And there's another one out there in Barrier 12, Glacier. Now, Glacier wants to come across the outside. Yeah. And
Costa's Off was the meat and the sandwich. That's him with the big baldy face, pale blue cap. I think his run can be forgotten too, Graham. But yeah. you say that these straight 6 races...
9. Here we go. It's Ponton Fly 10, 14, So Gorgeous, Love Lawn 18, Rose Archway 480, Dandify 420, Len Kwai Fong 670, Flying Spice at 33, Dashing 640, Tan Eth. You know, this is the galloper that when Ray Warren was on Racing Retro a couple of weeks back, he spotted this one and said, right, race 8 Flemington, getting set here. Good field to the AV CUNY as
before going on to win this race. Damien Oliver looking for the big double here today, having won the Newmarket on Toledo. He's on Ponton Flyer. Damien has won this race 3 times. He's been racing. Love Lawn and St Therese began fast on the inside, and Tenneth got away well, settling up third in the early part. Len Kwai Fong right behind them, followed by Interbank and Ponton Flyer up forward. So Gorgeous wide out's improving as well. When they settle, Dandify and Rose Archway are next, and they each have about 3 or 4. They're inside the 1,000. St Therese held out Ponton Flyer, who gave her a little bit of a serve. Now Oliver Eases and Ponton Flyers a length away second. Love Lawn is third, followed closely by Lan Kwai Fong. A half length to Tanneth, and then a length and a half. So Gorgeous, Dandify out wide. Next is Interbank. Rose Archway is back in the field. Going forward, Mrs. Tendulkar, Flying Spice and Dashing Granada last as they swing for home in the CUNY. St Therese tries to do it all at the 500, nearly a length in front of Ponton Flyer. Love Lawn behind them. Wider out Lang Kwai Fong, followed by Tenneth looking for a way clear. Here's Dandify coming with a run. Wider out Mrs. Tendulkar is coming home well. Rose Archway has only 2 behind her. At the 250, Ponton Flyers raced up and gone to St Therese. Mrs. Tendulkar and Dandify are wider out, and then came Flying Spice and Rose Archway. St Therese kicking back and Ponton Flyer together. They're fighting it out head and head. Ponton Flyer and St Therese. This will be very close to a dead heat. Nothing between them. Ponton Flyer, St Therese, Flying Spice flashing home when it was over. Just behind them are Dandify, Tenneth and Rose Archway out wider. They were trailed closely by Love Lawn, and a gap to So Gorgeous, Mrs. Tendulkar, Len Kwai Fong, Interbank and Dashing Granada. Judge needing the photo, and very, very close.
Promising to win a race like this.
Yeah, no, all the horses' runs on good tracks have all been good. You know, we haven't been disappointed with her.
How'd you feel because Damien took up there, went 3 wide for a short distance and got into the death?
Well, to tell the honest truth, we thought maybe go back, and in fairness to Damien, he said, look, I'll go forward. Yep. And we said, well, if you go forward, don't get caught.
Yes, by a small margin, as you suggested. 197, I tell you what was a big run in the race. Oh, my God.
Talking about last week, I think horses that get back in the field need luck. Horses that sit up on the pace don't need as much luck, and you put Ponton Flyer right there. We saw Rose Archway at the back of the field. Look, you have to say, looking at the replay, that Rose Archway was a good thing to beat.
Yeah, no doubt, Richard. And I was just saying to Richard before, the amount of times that D. Oliver wins photo finish is unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, he does. He seems to be able to, like, on the line, he seems to push their head down or something and just gets that slight margin. But Damien in the pink sleeves and cap there, just getting the best out of that filly without hurting her. And there's Rose Archway in the all yellow on the outside, flashing home. She got stopped in the straight about 200 metres before that. And oh look, I think all the watchers will pick her out as the one that should have won.
Yep, good trial for the AJC Oaks. Just not too far off. Okay, let's go to the Kindergarten Stakes, which was race 3, 1100 metres. And this was a very impressive win by Royal Courtship, and a nice run too by the filly Ha Ha.
Shook on the rail, coming out wide, Dutch Estelaria from Coral Salute, Markavet, Royal Courtship. Then time out and back to the rail is Shove Off, and Spitz is a mile back over the rise. Donna Natalia being held together by Brad Stewart, led the way by 2 lengths. Ha Ha called upon. Shook on the fence, and Royal Courtship starting to unwind. Shove Off can't get a run. Time out down the centre. It's still Donna Natalia in front. Trying hard, Ha Ha and Royal Courtship. He's lifting and he's coming quickly at Donna Natalia. The colt moved up, grabbed the lead, and Royal Courtship keeps his unbeaten record intact. He's just beaten either Ha Ha or Donna Natalia. Time out, wide out, then came...
Yep, and ridden by Brian York and trained by Gay Waterhouse, and Joe caught up with him after the race. Hold on the slip of the way things are shaping up.
Oh, absolutely. I think she might end up with probably 4 or 5 runners at this stage, and all of them, Richard, are very good chances.
They are. She's got the race by the scruff of the neck at the moment. She's got all the right horses going all the right way at the.
He nearly said something else, my mate.
You picked that up, but yes, she's got them all going right at the right time, and that's a lovely horse, and great to see Mr. Kwanko getting some real success now with his horses, because he's put so much.
Miss Corner Cova number 2 is the top rated from 5-star Satire. Belle du Jour 1-6 Wyndham Special. And Belle du Jour 823.60 Miss Corner Cova. Lady Mulan 370 weights right Doomben. Harpy 32 Star Satire 750. Wyndham Special 21. Maitland Goal 420 on type at $18. And Luxury Ride $104 for the 4th.
Round Stakes, which has drawn together a magnificent lineup of fillies. We've got our local stars from Sydney, the Golden Slipper winner Belle du Jour. Lady Milan, who won the Light Fingers in devastating fashion, and Maitland Gold, equally as impressive, finishing 2nd. And then throw into the equation Miss Corner Cova, who's been heavily backed, Group 1 winner of the Oakley Plate, only lightly raced. $6 Belle du Jour and Star Satire. No great support for her, although there has been just a bit of money. Ready and racing, caught them in a perfect line. Belle du Jour on the fence, jumped well. Maitland Gold and Harpy went back after the start. Star Satire and Miss Corner Cova on the fence, won the kick, and they'll lead the way. Rushing up on type, going to 3rd. 1 away is Wyndham Special. 2 lengths Belle du Jour and Du Jour, then Harpy, Luxury Ride and Maitland Gold with 700 metres to go. Halfway point of the race, and Miss Corner Cova for Corey Brown made the play, the Oakley Plate winner. 1 length on type, who starts to narrow down the margin. 2 lengths Wyndham Special on a loose rein. Outside of her, the Kiwi filly Star Satire, and Lady Milan tracks her hotly around the bend. Belle du Jour on the fence, about to come out. 2 lengths Maitland Gold, Harpy and Luxury Ride as they flatten for home. In the stretch, and Miss Corner Cova taken on by On Type. On Type's just got a nose in front of Miss Corner Cova. Star Satire and Lady Milan starting to stretch the neck, running on. And 2 lengths to Belle du Jour and Maitland Gold. Miss Corner Cova, On Type, and on the outside, Lady Milan. On Type in front of Miss Corner Cova. Maitland Gold coming late. On Type coming home the better. Takes the lead from Miss Corner Cova. Maitland Gold flying, but On Type won this around. On Type wins it. 2nd, I think, Maitland Gold from Miss Corner Cova, and Lady Milan petered out on a run with Star Satire. They were followed by Belle du Jour, Luxury Ride, about 100 metres to Wyndham Special, and last of all is Harpy. Stand by for the numbers. $19, $10 and $4 over number 7, Maitland Gold, who again has run a terrific race, rocketing home late. Gavin Eads at 170.
Now On Type, Maitland Gold, Miss Corner Cova, Cornella and Trifecta Dividends are there on 8, 7 and 2.
A fantastic performance, wasn't it, Ray?
It really was. It was a tough win at Canterbury prior to that. First up from a spell, basically went via the outside fence and just treated them with contempt. But this horse that Albert Stapleford trains, Maitland Gold, I mean, yes, I just can't believe what it was able to do yesterday. That's it in the red cap and the gold jacket with the baldy face coming to the outside. Stone motherless last. It did something similar behind Lady Mulan the other day. Now, what's the improvement in this horse when you line it up alongside Lady Milan in the pink colours? 4 out from the fence, challenging for leadership now. But watch this horse ridden by Gavin Eads. I don't know where the race is waiting for it, but there's one not too far away. Maitland Gold.
Miss Corner Cova's performance yesterday, a little disappointing. The 1400-metre trip around Randwick, certainly a test for it.
I think you know, disappointing insofar that she didn't win. She probably is a genuine 1,000 to 1,200 metre horse, and the 1,400 metres she battled on very well. Only just got beaten, but probably not as dominant at those distances. But I have to agree with Ray. Maitland Gold. I don't know. Albert's a very, very good horseman, and he knows the horse better than anybody. But there's got to be some way of getting her to take closer order in a race and give herself a chance. Maybe a set of blinkers, or maybe, I don't know, but it's some way.
And the winner, as I said earlier, is a very tough horse, but this Maitland Gold, my God, I don't know where she's going, Albert, but do me a favour, mate, would you give me a ring and tell me where it is and when? I want to be there. I want to be there.
I'm sure he's watching.
He wears a gag to bed, you know, Albert.
Oh, does he?
Oh, he's frightened of telling somebody something in one of his dreams.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, Albert, he's one of the cagiest men in racing.
I know a few people like that.
Well, I've gone 5 Dandify, Andrew. Look, it's drawn such awkwardly too, but I still think Brett should be able to make something out of what he's doing. I like its last couple of runs down. It's been fantastic. Been a little bit unlucky. 9 St. Therese, it's probably the value one because the way this track seems closer to the fence.
So Tie the Knot aiming for his 3rd Chipping Norton Stakes. And he would be the first horse in the modern era to do that. Superimposed won the race in 91-92. And Apollo 11 won it on 2 occasions in 73-75. But you've got to go a long way back to find another horse to have done it. The champs moved in. Sky Heights, who's been well backed, scored his biggest victory in his career to date by winning the Australian Derby for Glenn Boss at this track, and Boss back in the saddle. And on Tab Limited, he's paying out metric mile of 1,600 metres from the famous start point. On racing in the Chipping Norton, Freemason, Sky Heights and Ken Zafra all slow to go. Tie the Knot jump well, but he'll settle 4th last. Akhenaten out of the gates, and he flew across onto the fence to lead the way from Coco Cabana. Racing forward, Galliano. Sky Heights is Zafra wide, and he's dashed up to Akhenaten. They put on a good speed. 2.5 lengths, Galliano, Space 8. Sky Heights 5th, 1 back, Coco Cabana outgate on the fence. Then came Referral. On the rail, Dotteressa, Tie the Knot about 10 off the lead on the fence. 3/4 to Lawyer, and Freemason last of all. 800 metres to go. Akhenaten the grey in front. 3/4 Ken Zafra, 2.5 away on the fence, Space Age. He's being shaded by Galliano, and Sky Heights on a limb, 3 wide chasing the speed. They were followed making ground by Coco Cabana. The 3-year-old outgate on the fence, centre field needing a run. Then came Referral around the stablemate Dotteressa. Tie the Knots on the fence. He's locked in. Payne looking for a run from Lawyer and Freemason. Homeward bound, the leaders have got away. Over the rise they come at the 350. Akhenaten given a great sight. He leads the way by a length on Ken Zafra. 2 lengths Space Age. Tie the Knot starting to warm to the task, and boy, the champ's coming now. Down the centre is Referral running on from Dotteressa. Tie the Knot let go, and he exploded at the 100. The champ raced to the front. Referral's running on with Dotteressa, but Tie the Knot, what a great champion. 11 Group 1s, and he wins his 3rd Norton Stakes. Too good for them. Tie the Knot first from either Dotteressa or Referral. They were followed by Akhenaten, Freemason, Leighton running on, Galliano from Ken Zafra. They were followed behind those by Outgate, Space Age. Well back in the race, Sky Heights and Lawyer with the tail enders. Has toyed with his rivals. Tie the Knot. Another beautiful ride. 53 starts, win 19, and his stakes creeping up close to $5 3/4 million in the bank. How would you like to have him in the backyard? Patrick Payne has had the 2 rides in Sydney. In fact, prior to today, 2 rides for a win in the Express.
I mean, he's the most amazing horse. I mean, there've been greater champions, I think, but I mean, he is a champion in his own right, and I think especially in Sydney.
I think the most amazing...
John, home there, late there at the...
What a run, Freemason.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's Tie the Knots race and all the rest of it, but what a run, Freemason. And I think he's going to geld Freemason.
Yeah.
In readiness for the Melbourne Cup.
I heard that yesterday.
This campaign, then a gelding. Will that give him time, Richard, or have I got the bull by the tail?
I tell you what, it's a lovely positive thing in racing to see a horse like that. To see a horse like Tie the Knot. I'm just blown away by him. Every season he comes up, he does that. He gets into trouble in races. He finds his way clear, and he somehow gets to the line in front. And yes, I've heard they're going to geld Freemason, but it seems a very old age to be gelding a horse. Maybe he's got all these bad habits already, but he'd have very limited value at stud Freemason, and I think that's
that wasn't my question though, mate. I'm saying if he has an autumn campaign and then they geld, have they then got time to get him ready for a spring campaign?
Oh, yeah, we've had horses gelded.
I would imagine it's a pretty painful operation. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Well, we can only imagine, I suppose, but...
and the recovery period, I'm worried about that.
Well, I think it'd be...
About Freemason being gelded.
Yeah, what about Tiger?
Phenomenal performance yesterday. It's very difficult to see him getting beaten in any more weight for age races in Sydney this autumn, Richard.
Oh, I love him. I think he's a star, you know. It reminds me, and this is a personal thing, and people think this is a bit indulgent, but he reminds me so much of Superimpose. Similar sort of horse, able to get the 2 miles, probably not his favourite distance now. Brilliant at weight for age at a mile. He's just a fabulous racehorse. Just a fabulous racehorse.
And Paddy Payne's got a very special affinity with him in such a short space of time, hasn't he?
There's absolutely no doubt about that. He rides him beautifully.
And nice runs by Referral and Dideressa again. But, of course, the eye-catching run was undoubtedly Freemason. Now, let's go to the Kindergarten Stakes, which was...
Northerly is the top rate at 3 from 5, Sent Home 9, Giovanna, 1 Diatribe. We'll speak to the trainer of Northerly shortly. 3, 5, 9, 1 Diatribe, 970, Carpstead Way, 490. Northerly 810, Big Odds Oval Office, Sent Home 820, Shore Blues at 40, Hill of Grace $15, Tickle My at $38, number 8. Giovanna 720, Showella 14, 56 Inspect. Hit the Roof 790, Neptune's journey.
Quite hard in a fast run race, so, you know, maybe he might have just been a little bit on the fresh side going into his last start in the St George.
He had 59 too on his back.
Yes, and he comes back to...
Winner, Greenstone Charm is no slouch.
Is no slouch indeed.
Yeah.
Graham, I think we made comment about it. It can't...
And the field is ready. The Australian Cup. Set to go. Line, they're off. And they're racing in Carpstead Way, a little slow to move. Giovanna bounded out with Tickle Mine. Neptune's Journey shows pace down on the rail. Sent Home and Northerly both got away going forward as they've settled down now. And next is Hit the Roof as they go past the 1800. Neptune's Journey, a narrow leader on the inside. From Tickle, Giovanna had worked to the lead, but Sent Home's right there on her outside. A couple of lengths away, Neptune's Journey on the inside, and Showella is around him. 2 lengths further back is Northerly. Tickle My neck away on the rail. Wonder Shore Blue, being followed by Carpstead Way. He's on the fence, a little worse than midfield, the favourite. Then came Hit the Roof, a length to Diatribe and Inspect, half a length away on the outside, then Hill of Grace, followed by Oval Office, and 2 lengths to Sail of Century. Sent Home took the lead coming down the side of Neck Giovanna, 2 lengths to Showella. Northerly hasn't had much luck and he's taking off round the outside to go and have a crack at the leader. Shore Blue worked into it, Neptune's Journey back on the inside. They're followed then by Hit the Roof. Back behind these is Tickle My. Carpstead Way's worked away from the rails now. Then Hill of Grace, Inspect. Diatribe a long way back, cornering from Oval Office and Sail of Century from last hooks to the outside. They turn for home now and Northerly wide out on the course has gone to the lead from Sent Home and Giovanna. Next is Shore Blue. Carpstead Way trying to get into the clear and Hit the Roof down the outside. At the 300 it's Northerly in front from Giovanna and Shore Blue. Then came Hit the Roof coming home well on the outside and Carpstead Way, but Northerly clear, 150 to go. He's opened up by 2 or 3. Hit the Roof, Sent Home and Shore Blue. But Northerly, the West Australians, racing away with the Australian Cup. And Northerly won it 3 lengths to Hit the Roof. Photo third, give it a Carpstead Way by a nose to Shore Blue. Then Sent Home, Diatribe, Oval Office. Next in the field, Giovanna, Sail of Century out wider, and then came Neptune's Journey and Tickle My. Inspectors well back and Hill of Grace, and Showella's dropped out to finish last. It's been a run, $1.90. It's 3, 12 and 2, and they've run a course record 159.4.
Okay, we're down here.
Yep. It's 11 months ago this horse had not even raced.
It's amazing. Come over. How did you were the one that stood up and started the show a bit.
I was very thrilled, really thrilled.
Fantastic. I mean, most move on a few months.
Fred Kersley.
Melbourne Cup.
Talk to Fred Kersley.
Yeah.
We think he'll say 4,000 metres.
4,000. Well, that'll get you a Melbourne Cup. Well done. Well done to you both. There we go.
On into this race thinking today, oh, it looks only an ordinary field, but what they forget, these are the sort of races that make them actually champions, and this horse fits into that category today.
Can you imagine the euphoria over in that?
Everyone, Fred, congratulations. It's what I consider an outstanding performance.
I agree with you. You know, horses don't usually do that, and particularly as new as he is, to find again at the top of the lane. I thought he'd done enough in the run, and I was a bit concerned, but when Greg asked him and he found something, I was just wrapped.
Well, I think that's what really, stamps the win with such authority, Fred, is that Greg really didn't even make a decision from an awkward gate, covered plenty of ground, did it hard, faced the breeze, and like every jockey's complained today about the strong headwind, and he's run a track record with it.
I don't know a lot about the jocks over this side of the world, but I'd say that Greg's got a good rapport with horses. I mean, I think, and I believe myself, if you can keep the horse happy, and the horse and you click and join as one, then you're going to get a better result. If you want to pull him around and make him do this and make box. Well, he's second starting the race. He won a listed race, the Aquanita, back in Perth. Yeah. And it was a sensational run. Last to first in great time. And I said, now I've got a very special horse, I'll put him aside. And we didn't race for 7 or 8 months. And I brought him back for the Christmas carnival, and he answered every question. And then I said, what do I do now? I said, wow. I said,
every now and again, a champion racehorse comes out of the Golden West, and this bloke is really taking all before him. Let's have a closer look at last Monday's Australian Cup.
To win Monday's Australian Cup in what was a track record too. Richard and Keith, I must remind you of what you said before the Australian Cup. You put a big pot on the horse when he ran third in the Victoria Gold Cup, and if you don't remember what you said, let's have a look at this. Northerly, guys, very unlucky yesterday. His performance full of merit.
Why was he unlucky? I thought he just didn't run out the 2,000 metres, to be honest, Joe, and it was a big race for him because I thought he blotted his Australian Cup prospects. In fact, Brett Preble recommended to connections that they bypass the Australian Cup. Now, he's had only 9 starts. He's a very good horse, but I don't think he's tough yet, Rich.
Can you see the winner of the Australian Cup coming out of this race?
No, if it rains, perhaps Oval Office.
Yeah, I can't see the winner of the Australian Cup coming out of that race, given, as you say, that all conditions being equal. I don't think I was too scathing.
Well, I was just wondering what you say to a setup without swearing.
No, I don't think I was too... You were certainly scathing. You definitely potted the horse. I was sort of a bit more circumspect.
Jumping onto me. Yeah. And then upset enough with Joe without you landing on me as well.
And then the owner got, apparently, when he got on the TV after the race and stuck it to me. I thought that was very unfair, that. And given if I'd owned the winner of the horse, I wouldn't have wasted my time commenting on what Richard Friedman had to say. But
I think it underlines the point you were making earlier, though. Look, on the day we see some marvellous performances, and then we see horses in defeat. I think you've got to put it all together. We've got to acknowledge that Northerly is a great horse. You said to me when he won, I can't remember whether you said it on air. If you did, Joe wouldn't have replayed that tape. No. That Northerly reminded you a little of Superimposed.
Yeah, well, all the good ones do, but look, he's a talented horse, not without talent, but it just goes to show the point we've been making. Northerly got beaten in that race at Caulfield before by a fraction of a second. You know, it's not much when you've got animals travelling at that pace over those distances, and I suppose you've got to forgive all good horses a beauty.
And we demand...
You both look very becoming with an omelette hanging off your face.
Okay. Tonight, the death of one of Australia's leading horse trainers. Peter Hayes, whose father and brother both won Melbourne Cups, was killed in a light plane crash today in Victoria. The South Australian trainer was 52.
The news has stunned the horse racing industry. Peter Hayes had been a qualified pilot for more than 20 years. Today he was travelling as a passenger in a kit plane when it crashed into sandhills near the township of Nangelock in northwest Victoria. The accident killing Hayes and the plane's other occupant, a pilot from Brisbane.
It appears there are 2 occupants of the plane. The occupants, unfortunately, are deceased, and police, in conjunction with the Civil Aviation Safety Authority, have commenced an investigation.
The eldest of 4 children, Peter Hayes was part of a famous racing dynasty. His late father, Colin, was one of the most respected trainers in the country, a dual winner of the Melbourne Cup. In 1994, his brother David also savoured Cup success with Jeune. Peter never lived in their shadows, firmly establishing himself as one of Australia's leading trainers. Blackfriars' win in the Victoria Derby in 1999, just one of the many highlights.
It's quite an emotional time for us because my father won this race for Robert Sangster.
David won the race for Robert Sanction, and now I won the race for Robert.
When David moved to Hong Kong, Peter took over the reins at Lindsay Park, the famous family-owned stables, maintaining their winning reputation.
You hate getting beaten in any race.
Was 52.
Most of them have been a touch easy. Alf Matthews, you've had a real good look at them in the yard. You've come up with 7, 4 and 9.
Yes, Andrew, I'm going with number 7, Mustagle. I just think it's drawn perfectly. I would have fitted La Lagoon in had it have drawn better, but we can't put them all in, unfortunately.
Couple getting ready for the big one of the day. We await La Lagoon and Archbishop to come in. There's been good Spectatorial will be the last to move into the stalls. Big one of the afternoon, the size produce, 1,400 metres. They're all in and they're off. All Carriage won the jump on the inside, and Toscanos got away well. Prosecution pushing up right behind them and going forward as Barossa, Broadway and Mustagilas up there as well, as they've settled into stride by the 1,200 metres. All Newand as they came up the side. Archbishop taking off very wide, and Champion of Danes is last by the 800, where Barossa, Broadway led. Mustagilas up second, a length away. All Carriage right behind them, and then came Toscanos. La Lagoon is handily placed about 5th as they neared the corner. Then came Valkyrian, hooked to the outside from Yorkshire Lass and Super Blitz. Next Spectatorial. Out wider is Archbishop, followed by Eustenoff. Newand a long way back from Champion of Danes as they swing the corner, and Prosecution. They're homeward bound now, and Mustagil after the leader. Barossa, Broadway, Toscanos chimes in. Valkyrian hooked to the outside is starting to come home well, and then Spectatorial, the deepest runner. Toscanos at the 300 got to the lead from Mustagil. La Lagoon switching course along the inside, and here's Spectatorial coming on the outside with Valkyrian. Spectatorial raced up to Toscanos, and La Lagoon at Spectatorial in front, 100 to go. Drew a neck, drew a half in front, and Spectatorial comes away to win the sires. Beats Toscanos. Third placing, a photo of the Valkyrian or La Lagoon, and then Super Blitz a break to Eustenoff. Mustagil, All Carriage followed by Champion of Danes. Further back was Newand, who never came into it. A long break to Archbishop, Barossa, Broadway, Prosecution, and Yorkshire Lass last in the sires produce.
Spectatorial, 9.50 and 3.30. Toscanos, 6.40. Valkyrian, $3. Quinella, $100.
Matthew?
Going.
Yeah, look, I'm a little bit on the query side with the omission. I've put it on top, number 6. I've put number 3, Sedation, in for second. And again, I don't think it's drawn the right barrier, but nevertheless, I've still put it in. And number 8, Umaline. Now, it will get...
Group 2, 1,600, all in, set to go. Typhoon the inside. Omission in gate 3 in red, black and white. They're set and away in the Blamey, and Typhoon jumped well in company with Nina Haraka, and Omission got away well in the early stages. El Caballo's going forward as they settle fully, and Go Flash Go round the outsides looking for the front as well by the 1,400. Good pace, Go Flash Go working to the lead on the outside of El Caballo, and they lead Omission settling down right behind the pace third with Avilda around him. The last of all as they neared the 1,000. Go Flash Go the leader, half a length on Avilda, a length to El Caballo, and a length further back as Omission in the perfect place. Fourth on the outside with Akabilk around him travelling wide, and then came Nina Haraka. Sedation a neck further back from second, coming wide out, 800 to go. Typhoon buried away down on the rails as they neared the corner. Vetiver commences a run wide out from Market Price, and Umaline last as they neared the bend. At the 600, Akabilk let loose with a fast run round the outsiders, dashed to the lead before the home turn, and he sprinted away 2 lengths in front from Go Flash Go in third placing. On the outsiders, Avilda with Omission about to be challenging his position down the outside. Second coming is working home fairly well, and then Nina Haraka. Akabilk below the 400 over 2 lengths. Omission's got to the middle of the track and is coming out after him. Go Flash Go next, and then came Avilda, and second coming Market Price. Akabilk at the 200 against the fence in front. Omission winding up still. Then second coming Umaline and Vetiver, and Market Price has burst through late. Market Price has swept on them and comes away. Market Price beats Omission by 3. Second coming third, followed by Akabilk and Vetiver. Next to finish was Umaline out wide, and they were trailed then by Go Flash Go, Sedation and Avilda. Further back in the field is Nina Haraka towards the end in company with El Caballo. But it's a runaway win for number 14, Market Price, and Vincent Hall
On Super Tab, Gary Fennessy joins us from the McAvoy stable. Well, it's been one of those weeks that we don't want to ever live through, but Gary, what a day now, a double, and Peter will be watching from above and he'll be thrilled by it all.
Oh, I'm sure he'd be thrilled with this win. You know, the three horses we had in it, we thought the chances, you know, she was probably the lesser of the three, but on her older form, she was a good chance, you know, and when the track got a little bit soft this morning, she moved into probably about our best chance.
Made a good ground up the other day. It's not a total washout here.
Yeah, I'd say it probably has been. It's been very sort of an emotional charged sort of week, and you know, you've got to get on with planning one of the biggest stables in the country, so it just doesn't sort of you know, you haven't got time to really think too much about things. I suppose in a couple of weeks it'll sink in a bit more.
And Tony McAvoy now takes it over, and well, he's kicked off the Hayes family all week. And Peter, as I mentioned through that interview, he'll be watching from above and be very proud of Market Price Winning.
Folks,
definitely a little bit of track bias there in Melbourne had developed by that time. You had to sit wide, you had to get right out wide on the track. Anything that got close to the fence and up on the pace really had a job ahead of it.
White cap, seemingly not in the race at this stage, and you couldn't believe that she had an authoritative win. The saddle moved on Ackerbilt. It still finished fourth. Wasn't a bad run.
Yeah, there was a tough win this. You know, I didn't really think Market Price had it in it at that level, but obviously it did. You know, a big surprise. But great for the Hayes family that you know, on what was a really tough day for them, they won one of the big races, and you know, I think would have eased the pain somewhat.
Sure. Andrew.
No, she raced in races like the Doncaster last season, not figuring in it, but always unlucky, not getting the runs. And she got the breaks today, the perfect conditions for her, and she exploded late, and it was an impressive win. And a bit of a special one because Robert was one of my brother's best friends, a very close friend of the family's, and he'll be so thrilled to be part of Peter's last day, really.
That was Robert Hill-Smith, and he watched it from Adelaide.
Yeah, I'm sure he watched it from Adelaide, and he bought it off me a couple of years ago, and he stole it now.
At least you could say that. What about your other winner?
My brother rang me on Tuesday after a final bit of work and said, I think we're in for a good weekend, and so it was nice to see it come to fruition. That was the last tip he ever gave me. So.
Oh, well, he was right. I spoke on air earlier with Gary Fennessy. Is this the hardest week that you've put in? I know you had a hard week when your father passed away, but just having to come back from Hong Kong and be with the family and things?
Without a doubt. Dad's death was, you know, sort of for natural causes, and accidents are always harder. And, you know, apart from the fact being a great bloke, it's just, you know, it's so final. And a lot to reorganise, but the business was ready for it because secretly he was preparing to retire anyway. But I'm not worried about the business. I was just worried about poor old Pete, you know.
Yeah, David did an immense job yesterday under great pressure.
Well, and some good 3-year-olds in a small field, the third event, good 2-year-olds, I should say, go around in the third race tonight, where Man on a Flight, a last start winner of the Kevin Seymour Classic up there in Brisbane, will take a lot of beating. So a really strong program, probably better than even some of the recent Moonee Valley car numbers in the first 5 ahead of 8 and 1. I'm going the favourite way, all for 1, Graham.
Gates are back. Ha-Ha jumps centre of the line. Palais and Breezer wide out, got the best of the start. Vita on the fence, and Oomph is into stride very quickly. Ha-Ha rushing forward. She's wide and fifth from Transparent at the back, and it's the Palace Music filly in front. Palais leading the way by a neck on Breezer. 2 lengths to Ha-Ha doing work. She's 3 wide. Vita on the fence between runners Oomph and Miss Jackie O travelling up 4 wide. They were followed by Unbridled Dancer, Raging Ruler going around the outside, and Moon Flute with the blue jacket on the fence. They were followed by Transparent Lass, Silky Oaks, and 2 lengths to Shepherd's Lil before the bend. Palais just in front of Breezer, having a crack at it in the favourite. Ha-Ha 3 wide, Miss Jackie O 4 deep. 1 away, Vita on the fence, and Moon Flute looking for a run from Wolfers. Heads turn for home. Palais first for the judge, leading by 3/4 and kick. Now Ha-Ha being turned loose after it. Moon Flute on the outside, representing a bit of a danger. Palais is grabbed by quickly the favourite. Ha-Ha with Moon Flute 3/4 away. Palais headed off by Ha-Ha. Moon Flute's coming at Ha-Ha. Ha-Ha in front. Moon Flute lunged. Oh, not much in it. Ha-Ha or Moon Flute. The inside's lifted right on the line. Leave it to the judge with Palais a close third. Off behind those from Vita. Then Shepherd's Lil making ground. Transparent Lass from Breezer. Miss Jackie O well back in the race with Unbridled Dancer. They were followed by Silky Oaks and Raging Ruler last in.
9-4, 7.30 the Quinella, 34.30 the Trifecta on the opening race at Canterbury. And
the enormous influence of Danehill continues. Both first and second place getters are Danehill fillies.
It was a game performance from Ha Ha last night to win that race. She was wide all the way, and I think she fought off that late challenge from Moonflute very well. I just wonder, though, whether she's up to winning a Golden Slipper, Graham.
Yeah, I thought about the 200-metre mark that Ha Ha was really going to be in trouble, so Ha Ha did find plenty over that last little bit, fought on very well.
Well, she's not the #1 pick for the slipper as far as Gay's concerned. I think we'll talk about Accelerator later. She's still the #1 horse.
I think this win on this filly will do her a great deal of confidence. Like, she's been placed the last few starts, and sometimes, you know, horses get a little bit discontented with running places, but with her winning last night, I think it might just lift her another level. You know, I wouldn't disregard her in the slipper, because she seems a very tough filly. She
Field here with Accelerator just totally dominating the betting. Top Raider as well, ahead of Viscount, Cannon's Halo and Shags. 1 from 2, 4 and 3. And there's your tote call. And just about money back. But it's 14 Viscount, Shags 9.50, Cannon's Halo 48, and Kerouac has tightened.
Set and racing. Shags wide out began beautifully, going fast Accelerator, and Munster's going to dive the favourite through to lead the way. Cannon's Halo rushed up on the fence, so they're 3 abreast, settling down, 3 lengths to Viscount. Kerouac the last one, through the first 350, they're serving it up to Accelerator. He won 700 metres to go, Accelerator in front, leading by a long neck. Shags is having another crack at him. Cannon's Halo on the fence, he was the first to drop off. Viscount about to start a run, and one away last of all is Kerouac as they come towards the bend. 500 metres to go, Accelerator the inside and Shags. They've given the favourite no peace, and Viscount's had a soft run on them. Back on the fence, Cannon's Halo and Kerouac last as heads turn for home. Accelerator in front being shaken up, he got rid of Shags, leads him by a half length. Viscount to the outside, running on strongly. Accelerator in front. Viscount's looming as a danger. Viscount's closing on Accelerator. Accelerator in front. Viscount's drawn level. Accelerator digs deep. Viscount put his head in front. He's a neck in front. He's drawing away Viscount, and he's too good for the slipper favourite. Viscount 2 lengths on the line to Accelerator. 5 away, third Shags. Then came Cannon's Halo and Kerouac last in. An upset. The other riders have gone out and they've tested Chris Muntz on Accelerator. And Viscount has had the last shot at them and has run them down.
Approximates, Viscount, Accelerator, Shags, Quinella 210, try $2.80. Race 3.
But there were excuses. And Richard, you see what I mean? Circumstances prevailed there.
Absolutely, and when you what you say is right, John, is that when a horse wins a race by 3 lengths, it's still only winning that race by a fraction of a second. And I think that's the point. It's so tight and competitive. It doesn't take much to put a horse off a fraction of a second over 1,600 metres or 2,400 metres, and that's why you can't just take individual performances as a blueprint for the future. But I do believe this horse did run very well, Accelerator. He had no peace, and he did run well. He got beaten, but he ran very well.
Little piece of racing trivia here. The shortest price beaten favourite on record was Ajax in the 1939 Rawson Stakes when he was beaten by Spear Chief. On Super Tab last night, Accelerator went around at money back, so his odds were indeterminable. Yeah. This was the shortest price favourite beaten in city racing.
Well, very good.
For a long time. Yeah, you're quite right.
Yeah.
40 to 1 on.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
How short he started.
Yeah, Keith remembers that well. Yeah. Accelerator is now out to $5.50. It was outright favourite prior to last night, wasn't it? With Miss Bustle. Is she racing next week, Miss Bustle? She would be, wouldn't she?
She is, yes.
Yeah. Royal Courtship, another stablemate. Ha Ha, there's 4 of Gays. Pfizer, Shove Off is at 15 with Spectatorial, which won yesterday. Red Hannigan from the Gay Waterhouse stable, and Viscount. Darren, what are you? Have you got a ride yet?
No, I haven't got a ride yet.
His next race is the Group 2 Canterbury Stakes, and it's 10 Assertive Lad, the top raider, ahead of 11 Mr. Murphy, 2 Adam, 1 Shogun Lodge. Here's the tote call. Shogun Lodge 26, 540 Adam, what of the twist 940, 820 for Ab Initio, 38 Condotti 33, now 290 Assertive Lad and 480 Mr. Murphy. Race 4 at... It has been a sad week. Right. Now, Canterbury Race 4, Shogun Lodge 21, Adam 570, Oliver Twist 11, Ab Initio 740, And got for you there. Assertive Lad 310, Mr. Murphy 450, Wayne's up.
Red lights are on for the Group 2. All set. Gates are back and they've come away in a beautiful line, although Mr. Murphy's dropped back. He's near last with Shogun Lodge. Fast out of the gate, Ab Initio. Shy Hero's going to muster toe on the inside. He's wanting to get his head in the air, but he leads the way from Adam. Ab Initio 3 wide. Assertive Lads grab the box seat. Oliver Twist outside of him. 2 lengths Mr. Murphy. Going around Shogun Lodge. 3 lengths Condotti. To Adam. 1 back Assertive Lad. Oliver Twist a bit wide. Mr. Murphy starting to move forward in the centre. Shogun Lodge back on the fence. 1.5 lengths Condotti. Pimpala Prince El Murata. And Padstow the last one before the bend. 500 to run. Shy Hero is in front leading by a long neck on Ab Initio. Munch shouldered out on Assertive Lad. He got to the outside. 3 wide. He pushed Adam out of the road. Shogun Lodge tracks up on the fence. Mr. Murphy's under the stick. Assertive Lad rounded them up very quickly. He raced to the front. Boss looks for a run on Shogun Lodge. He comes through on the fence. El Murata late, but Assertive Lad's in front. Shogun Lodge driving home on the rail. Shogun Lodge looming big. He's moved up. He's hit the lead, the Lodge. Shogun Lodge grabbed the lead and a great first up win. Shogun Lodge from Assertive Lad and El Murata. Oliver Twist was 4th. Then Padstow, Condotti, Mr. Murphy missed the kick, and that was the end of him. They were followed by Ab Initio, Shy Hero, Pimpala Prince last in. What a great return by Shogun Lodge, ridden by Glenn Boss. He was back with Mr.
Fit. It's drawn a gate today, used up to cross last week at Sandown, and the less weight will help this horse. Last 150, its main worry. And
Canterbury Stakes, race 4 last night. You know the old theory that really good horses that are capable of running 1.5 miles, can sprint well when they're fresh, on sheer class. Bobby Thompson seems to get hold of one all the time. Do you remember one day Dane Wynn could have led and bolted in? Here is Shogun Lodge, who's been placed in 2 derbies, winning the 1,200 metre Canterbury Stakes. Why? Class. CLASS. He's tucked away.
He hasn't won first up since he won his first start in a race, and that being the Canterbury Stakes. But tonight, everything fell into plan for him tonight. Track conditions, the preparation he's had leading into this race, and most of all, it's the first time I've started him at weight for age, first up, and which means they're all got to carry equal weights to him, and under handicap conditions, he'd be given most of them 2 and 3 kilos. So, and a brilliant ride by Glenn. No question, you know. He said he could have come out and gone around him and still won, but it was still nice to see him find that opening on the inside.
You look like getting pretty forward tonight too.
I have to, because he's got to step up to the 1,500, his next start in 2 weeks' time. So with that in mind, I had to have him forward. But he's copped it sweet, the horse. I couldn't be more...
His effort was good. You know, he looked like he was going to win, but the horse having the soft run behind Glenn Boss from gate 2, and knowing his form, Shy Hero always lugs out on the corner, so I guess he was probably more or less just waiting that little bit longer for Shy Hero to run off, and he was pretty much guaranteed of getting a run there, and just rode with a little bit of luck.
Rich, what about Mr. Murphy? Did you just had a look at it there?
Yeah, I think, I think it's a matter of the level of sprinters in Melbourne is probably a little lower than it is in Sydney at the moment. And also, racing...
A lot of interest in the Guineas. A lot of interest in the Guineas. The Daily Telegraph Canterbury Guineas Race 5. 8 Scenic Warrior is the top rater. Number 8. Ahead of 5 Fubu. 3 Dynamite. 1 Sir Clive. Here's the tote call. Sir Clive 610, 510 Universal Prince. Dynamite 15, 790 Jade Prince. Fubu 840, 32 Fuardi. Inspire 16, 490 Scenic Warrior number 8. Reenact 15, Big Odds Power Diddle. Sporting Scribe 34, 47 Kiwi.
Tricky race.
Okay, Wayne, with Universal Prince to win this evening's Canterbury Guineas, a Group 1, and it will be run in 3 minutes' time, Graham.
Righto, Joe, thanks. Yep, looking forward to that.
Great promotion for the STC. Gates are back and they're racing in the Guineas. Sporting Scribe wide out was a shade slow to go. Inspire and Fuwadi came out of the gate very quickly. The filly Tempest Morn being set alight early, and Dynamite wide out is rushing up in a line of 4 or 5. Fubu will settle 5th. 2 lengths to Jade Prince trying to slot in, but he's caught 3 wide, the Queenslander. On the fence, Paradiddle from the Legend. 2 lengths to Scenic back Jade Prince. Scenic Warrior inside of him, a length and a half. Kiwi Warrior, then Sporting Scribe. Reenact, Sir Clive's back second last and 3 wide. 2 lengths to Universal Prince. Down the back, racing up to the 1,000. And Fubu, the front runner, by a half on Tempest Morn, who rushed up to his girth. A length and a half on the fence, Inspire. Wide out, Dynamite. He's had no luck, the Kiwi in the run. In between runners, Fuwadi, 1 back, Paradiddle. Going around them, Jade Prince with the red cap. They were followed by the Legend. Then came the grey Scenic Warrior looking to go forward. Inside of him, Kiwi Warrior from Sporting Scribe. Reenact. Sir Clive's got a mountain of work to do and even a bigger task for Universal Prince. Off the back, 600 out in the guineas. And Fubu is the pacemaker by a length on the filly Tempest Morn. The runs are coming. Jade Prince 4 wide. Dynamite 3 out and Sporting Scribe the deepest. 2 lengths Scenic Warrior. Inspire on the fence looking for a run. Sir Clive's getting to the outside. And Universal Prince is on his heels as they turn the bend. In the straight, Fubu 5 abreast. The rail led the way. Dynamite the Kiwi went after him from Tempest Morn. Inspire on the fence. They were followed by Scenic Warrior and Universal Prince is blazing down the centre and he's coming with a mighty run. Universal Prince moved up, grabbed the lead and he raced away from Dynamite, and Universal Prince won the guineas, and boy, they'll never beat him in the Derby on that run, you'd think. What a great performance. Second prize, Dynamite. Third, Reenact or Scenic Warrior from Tempest Morn. Then Kiwi Warrior behind those, Sir Clive. They were followed by Fubu, Inspire, Wellback, Sporting Scribe, Fuwadi, Jade Prince, and the Legend last in, and what a run. They've come home 35.74, and he has given them 12 lengths coming off the back.
What's no tomorrow?
Just proves that's the way he's got to race, doesn't it? To do that here is just awesome, wasn't it?
You presented the horse beautifully this evening, and were you confident of victory?
No, I wasn't really. I didn't know how he'd handle it, you know, to get around Canterbury. Knew he was going to get back, and usually got to have a fair bit of luck. And so I did say to Justin when I got on him, I said, he looks the best he's ever looked. I said, better than he ever looked in Melbourne, because we had a little problems with him there, and yeah.
And trifecta dividends are there. That was a Wayne Harris Quinella, by the way. In order, like Universal Prince from Dynamite.
Time and fun, and I think, Rich, that only Hit the Roof stands in the path of Universal Prince for a clean sweep.
No, don't get all that. And one horse, one event. It's very, very good win, but there's lots of other racing going on. Lots of water to go under the bridge, Keith. And when it comes to inane ramblings, I bow to a greater authority, John Tapp.
Now, mate, okay, you've started off on the right leg. You're talking about one race, one event. Have you forgotten the Spring Champion Stakes last spring at Randwick?
I haven't forgotten the Derby in Melbourne.
Mate, it was a wet track, Richard. The track in Melbourne was rain affected. This horse is not half the horse if there's one bit of give in the ground.
You know what? You never want to get too excited about one horse when you're talking about derbies, because anything can happen to one horse. One gate doesn't open, one horse misses the kick and doesn't jump away, one horse gets interfered with, you know, one horse.
I think you were a bad lizard last night. You could not have been watching, Rich.
I watched
2.5 lengths last and won.
It was impressive.
Okay.
But never mind.
Well, let's awesome win.
Never mind.
Well, let's awesome win.
Mate, he's an awesome horse, you know. I've known him for a year. I know it's easy to... Hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I knew a year ago, last February, I rode him in a trial and I thought, oh, baby, I hope I've had some luck for this owner because I want to ride this, you know. He was like a motor car. And I just knew that the autumn he would be better, you know, and they stuck with me and, you know, all I do is my job, you know. That's all and just to ride a horse like him, mate, that's what we do, and what you did, that's what, you know, to get a horse like him. And,
Faith and devotion that he's had in this horse is just amazing. And there's no way anything in that race last night can beat him. So you're going to have to bring on a newcomer.
Yeah, I think...
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
One shower of rain. And what?
Well, yes.
Now it's suddenly, well, yes. You know, before it was ridiculous, you know?
Okay, well, I'll change that slightly. There is no way anything in last night's race can beat him on a dry track.
Now, that might be right, and I'm not saying that it wasn't very, very impressive. It was outstandingly impressive.
Richard, I'm getting quite frankly really tired of you. Finding fault in these very good horses.
It's not finding fault. It's just not gushing, because week in, week out, and I learned my lesson after the Northerly episode last week. I learned my lesson with that. You appear not to have that. Week in, week out, horses can get beaten in certain races and yet be a great horse. I'm not saying he's not a great 3-year-old. He is. But let's just keep things in perspective.
Glad you showed that replay again. It might finally sink into Richard's head. Incidentally, Tappy, You've aged yourself.
Supposed. Over 11.
Castle Race 7, the Newmarket Handicap. Top rater Galliano, Old Man, Land Sighting and Akhenaten. Number 1 Land Sighting, $7. 2 Weasel Will, $10. 3 Akhenaten, $20. Number 4 Crawl, $9.20. 5 Chinoy, $10. Palladium Star, $4.70. Number 10 Verino, $60. 11 Silent Impact, $94. And they're certainly going to find out today if he's up to the task. This is only his 5th.
Ready for the Clipsal Newmarket. Gates are back and Crawl has done just that out of the gate. He's missed it badly. Fast out, I Dominate. Phoenix Park came away running. Akhenaten going forward and Land Sighting's burning across. Phoenix Park will lead from Land Sighting. Then Galliano crawls back on the fence from Silent Impact and Palladium Star last. A dozen lengths from first to last, 7.50 to go. Old Man moved up on the outside of Phoenix Park. There together. Land Sighting's right behind them on their wheel. 3/4 Verino. I Dominate on the fence. Making ground is Akhenaten. Then came Foolish Things. Back in Dubai is very wide. Weasel Will lost his spot from Spin. Raminko. They were followed coming to the outside by Palladium Star, but he's still a long way back. Galliano in front of him and Crawl on the fence. 400 metres to go. Phoenix Park just in front of Old Man. Land Sighting being let down's coming after the pair of them from I Dominate, Akhenaten. Then came Crawl, Palladium Star and Galliano. Phoenix Park responds. He extends at the 150, the 3-year-old. Land Sighting's having a crack at him from I Dominate. Phoenix Park in front. Crawl's jumping out of the ground. Crawl's flying with I Dominate. Phoenix Park. Crawl. Crawl's come from last to get up and win the Newmarket from I Dominate and or Phoenix Park. Silent Impact came screaming home at the death with Galliano. Land Sighting didn't go on. Then came Old Man, Chinoy, Akhenaten, Spinned. Behind those, back in Dubai, Raminko pulling up quickly from Foolish Things, Palladium Star, Verino, and Crawl has come from last to win the Newmarket. He stuck to the fence, Cassidy. He didn't panic. He persisted for a run. As Phoenix Park had got rid of Land Sighting, who was trying for all his might to get on terms. I Dominate at any old odds. $270 on the tote was getting a gap. And then Crawl has come whistling down the centre of the track to go home and win the Clipsal Newmarket.
Good on you, Terry. Thank you. An amazing win. As Terry said, he just fell out of the gates. He's a horse who needs lots of luck. But gosh, hasn't he got some ability. Let's not forget 2,000 metres for the running of the 5th race of the day. And this is the Tia Maria handicap. Previous race, terrific ride.
Everything. The big one, the Group 2, Lone Star Oaks, worth $500,000. And let's go up to the call and watch the vision of the race with Greg Miles.
St. Therese, there's nothing between those two. Andrew joining as well, as about half the field is locked away. And the best tried on track has been Tenneth, but St. Therese dandified little between them for favouritism. They're off. St. Therese began fairly well in the middle of the line, and away quickly is Dandify, and Pot on Flyer also began quickly. Dashing Granada, Lovelorn right behind them with Golden Diva, and Tanneth is going up from the outside barrier. At the post, and St. Therese against the rail in front of Dandify, who's run a little wide. Tanneth is deeper out third. Pot on Flyer behind them fourth. Lovelorn is fifth on the right of all. By the 800 metres now, St. Therese by neck, Dandify. Pot on Flyer easing out 3 wide. Tanneth just behind them from Lovelorn. They're sprinting home now. Storm at Midnight is next on the outside, and they're followed by Dashing Granada. Mrs. Tendulkar trying to make some ground from the back, and Thunderbeth is going with her, and then Golden Diva as they came up before the turn, and Dandify strode up and drew a half length in front. Drew 3/4. She's kicked away now, Dandify, and Preble hasn't moved on her. Running into second, placing Tanneth. St. Therese battling away only on the inside, and then Lovelorn with a run, and Storm at Midnight round the outside, but it's all Dandify at the turn. She shot 3 lengths, 4 in front now from Tanneth and Lovelorn, then St. Therese and Storm at Midnight, but Dandify racing away. Brett Preble's going to win back-to-back Lone Star Oaks, and Dandify scores by about 4.5 lengths easily. Second is a photo, Tanneth just from Lovelorn. They were followed in then by Mrs. Tendulkar and St. Therese together with Storm at Midnight. Then came Thunderbeth, a long break, Dashing Granada, Charmley, Golden Diva, and Pont on Flyer struggling in the going last of all.
You've had a few starts in Melbourne, a few goes. We had Brett Preble on before the race, and he probably blamed himself for a couple of the performances. Today, you've won the race clearly.
Yeah, well, I think she should have won the second start at Caulfield, and then the other day Oh, I thought she was going to win at the furlong and she didn't go to the post, but today we give her a dig in the ribs and she travelled beautiful.
The effort today, just coming us desserts today to Jeff and Beryl White into the whole Denham stable, winning the Lone Star Oaks with Dan Defy.
It's a very good win. She won probably, it's not as good as better than Hill of Grace, and she went on and also won the Ansett and raced in the Derby and the Oaks in Sydney. So if it's any good form pattern, hopefully we can follow that and have some success in Sydney with her.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if she goes back to Sydney in the Oaks, you want to be on her.
She's definitely going back for the Oaks. They've always said all along that this is the main race they're targeting for in Melbourne, and they're going to take it back.
Breakwater
has been a bit of a runabout.
And nice to see Dan Defy too reach that top level, because she's been promising to do that for quite some time. And I think if she does compete in the Oaks in Sydney, she'll be very hard to beat.
Okay, she's out of a Caulfield. Okay, she's out of a Caulfield Cup winner, by the way. Yeah. Mannerism.
And speaking of that, she's going to be a great chance in a race like that later in the year, isn't she?
Oh yeah. What do you think, boys?
Oh, look, she's an outstanding horse. Look, you know, she's been very unlucky in Melbourne. I don't believe she's run in a race in Melbourne this preparation that has suited her perfectly. And I think yesterday Brett summed up the situation perfectly. Let her stride forward without urging too hard forward, settle outside the leader, and she cruised to them at the 600 and, you know, put it all beyond doubt, you know, shortly after that. And you can see how convincing she was going to the line. Look, she's going to be a very good chance going back to Sydney, and I think Brett Preble's got a couple of decisions to make too.
She failed